Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest show in around 5 mile radius of Bromley. I don't know why I even say that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest show in around 5 mile radius of Bromley. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, so today's guest, we have Tom Mead. I would say he's an up and coming, but also well known in the trading world. It's weird how you could be up and coming, but also well known. But that's what he is. I've been editing all his videos. I've seen his YouTube journey. I don't know about his actual journey in life, which is why I got him on this episode. This episode is more about our journey as we got older, how our minds develop. Hearing Tom just tell me about his journey made me feel better about myself. You know, I didn't really feel alone. And I'm sure the listeners or viewers, you know, I'm sure you'll feel the same. He was speaking about, you know, his regrets, his struggles, you know, how we don't ever feel fulfilled in life. He even spoke about his addiction and relationship. Like, we just got really deep, and you know, I really appreciate that. I feel like this episode is probably one of my deepest episodes, and I hope a lot of people can relate to, and also hope it helps my listeners and my viewers. This is what the meaning is behind my podcast, and just bringing on cool guests like Tom made me realise a lot of things about myself. And you don't expect how relatable people are. Sorry I got so emo this early. Honestly, a great episode, a great listen, a great watch. I'm a bit annoyed about the lighting, but apart from that, solid episode. And again, Tom, thanks for coming on, mate. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Thank you. Starting this podcast, I've done a quick corona test. It's like straight first date, like 10 minutes thing. You see it straight away, and I'm negative, so I'm sweet, and so is my guest here. We're going to talk about self-development. We're going to talk about our journey, and this is first time on a podcast.
Yeah,
is it the first time?
Yeah,
nice.
First time. I've done like interviews and that, but
yeah,
never
yeah.
like a proper podcast.
All right,
so it's tense.
This
is
tense. All right, quick icebreaker. As you're new here, I'll ask my guests 3 questions. So I don't know if you want to answer these questions. One of them is your death row meal.
Five Guys.
Yeah, that's a good choice, man.
Yeah, it's got to be. I'll have a bacon cheeseburger with regular fries because they love to go in on fries.
They go in on fries, man.
Yeah.
I always get small fries. They always just go double. Yeah, mine would be favourites.
Yeah. Or Morley's. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah,
all these are dirty ones,
proper,
man. You're going to die, you might as well go in.
Yeah, just go in, mate. Yeah, why not?
What turns you on?
Someone who's got ambition and know what they want out of life.
Yeah.
I think that's a big turn on for me. Like, there's nothing worse than a girl that's just sort of plodding along, don't really know what they want from life. And it's quite hard to find, isn't it, really?
It's true.
Like, a lot of girls just want to rely on the guy, and they think that's, for me, drive is a big thing, I think. We're quite old now as well. You got to remember, like, I'm 27, you're 28, right? I'm 28, so, like, I'm kind of over all that sexual shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm now looking for a wife potentially.
Are you actually?
So, yeah, well, not right now, but like if I'm going to be making, like, I haven't got time to be going around with birds and all that. I'd rather have someone who's on the same wavelength as me, and who wants the same sort of similar things that I want.
This ain't the Tom I know, man. That's crazy.
Like, you're going to be shocked, mate. You're going to be shocked.
I've known you from school. Known of you. I wouldn't say we've chilled as much in school, but I think it was like since we turned 18 and stuff, we did go out and stuff a few nights. I don't know, you wasn't really the naughty kid, but you was just like, you're just young, innit?
I was a very naughty kid.
You say you're very naughty.
Yeah, very, man. And do you know what? I cringe at the sort of person I used to be. Like, the way I used to treat people in, like, do you know the worst thing is, because obviously Bromley's quite a enclosed place. You see people all the time that you know or knew, and it's like, and I know people still think that I'm that same person. Do you know what I mean? And I was for a long time. I'd probably say it's only been the last sort of few years that, you know, I've had some humbling experiences along the way, and it's been like, you know, you can't be like that, man.
No.
Like, I was just a bully. I weren't a nice person at all.
See, I never saw that side. You've always been alright with me.
Yeah. Like, do you know what it is? Again, we're going to go quite deep into this, but do you know what it was, right? Yeah. When I was a young kid, I was so insecure in myself. I used to portray and lay that onto other people.
But did you know that back then?
No.
I know we're getting quite deep early doors, but
this
is a journey. Deeper. This is what it is about self-development. We're going to talk about the journey from when we were younger to where we are now, and this is it. Yeah, sorry, mate, go on.
Yeah, no, so like, I didn't, like, obviously when you're young, you don't really know. Like, I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And you know what, like, when you're in school, everyone's the big tough guy, and everyone's trying to be a certain person. You don't really know what you want out of life, but you try and portray yourself to be like, or I did anyway. And yeah, it's just like, I was so insecure as a kid, and that's one of the reasons I took up boxing at a young age, because I felt that, you know, I wanted everyone not to like be frightened or whatever, but I wanted to come across like this big, sort of like hard man, if you like, when really inside I was the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like I was terrified as a kid. Man. Like I hate confrontation.
You have been in some fights as well. I remember. Like,
But do you know what the worst thing is, right? With boxing, I used to shake with fear before a fight. Like I used to throw up. Like there's videos of me on like them old VHS things.
Yeah.
Like I would throw up before fights.
What age was that?
So I must have gone into boxing when I was about 11 or 12. So we was just leaving year 6 going into year 7. And it made me very disciplined. Don't get me wrong. Like it makes you very disciplined. But I kind of took it the wrong way. I kind of used what I learned from boxing and tried to be a bit of an idiot with it, like being a bit of a bully and stuff.
With the crowd that you was with, not that saying that they were a bad crowd, but again, there might have been some little fights that you didn't want to get involved with, but because you know how to handle yourself.
All the time, and do you know what it was? I felt like responsible to look after my friends.
Yeah.
I'd always get in trouble that was nothing to do with me. Like all the time. I'd be in fights with someone that is nothing to do with me. And then it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, now, polar opposite. If someone's got a problem, that's your problem.
Really?
Yeah, I can't be bothered with that.
Like, say that my mate was going to be in a fight or someone was going to shoot him, I would be the guy that would jump in front of the bullet. Something like that. And I always have that thing in my head, but I don't ever expect that from someone else. So when someone else is actually quite nice to me or quite friendly, I really respect it. And as I got older, I feel like I appreciate that more and I'm there for them more. Whereas before I was like that, like if they're in a fight I don't care, but now I'm like, if they're in a fight I need to just
so you're the opposite.
I'm the opposite.
Do you know what it is? It's like, because I've gone through all of that shit and the trouble. You can swear, right?
Of course, mate.
Like, because of the trouble that it caused me, I got into a lot of trouble with other kids from other schools and other groups, and it was because we were young and reckless. You don't really think about the implications, but like the world's changed now. Do you know what I mean? It's not fights anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like someone will turn up at your house and try and shoot you. But again, I'm not associated to people that still are doing that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't. If you are doing that or you come across like you're doing that, I try and stay away from you. I'm only like, again, we're saying women and friends, I try and stay around people that are like-minded now, like on the same sort of path. I don't want to be around all that trouble and all that crap, because it messes up your head.
It does, it really does, especially with the wrong crowd as well. You start thinking, you try to think like them, what they're seeing. If they're thinking it's right, then you got to believe it's right, which is wrong. That's why I've got myself as well. I got rid of so many people in my life that I just don't need.
Mate, I'm trying to think. From school, actual school friends, I probably talked to 3, 4. I can't say their names, but for like 3 or 4 people.
Who is it? So I know.
I'd speak to him probably every day.
Nice.
Again, like-minded person. Do you know what I mean? Like he's on the same sort of thing that I'm on. He's on his goals. We G each other up every day. We give each other monthly targets.
You've always been like that, to be fair. I mean, I don't know, when we turned into young adults, I remember you've always supported your friends with that sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm so big on that though. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm so big on anything. Like anything that my mates are on or that's going to be beneficial to them. I'm there to big them up. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't get this hate stuff.
A lot of people, even your own mates, the so-called own mates.
That's what I said to you the other night. Like, I can guarantee you, like, there's people that are hating on you.
100%,
for nothing, really.
And then they'll just talk to you like your mates, and then they won't
they'll
really
like
support
all your stuff. Like, this is why recently I'm gonna re-download Insta just to plug this, but I've deleted my personal Insta.
You have, yeah.
Because it's such a fake, toxic place, man. Like, it's so, and screenshots and stuff get sent in about people. But then, like, certain people are like, they're liking each other's pictures, and
it kind of turns into a bitch, doesn't it?
Proper, man. It's like, and do you know what it is with Insta? It's a constant competition. Who's doing better than who? Who's going to the nicest holidays? Who's got the nicest clothes? Who's doing it's just a headache. And you can see why people go mad with it. Like, they fully just, like, especially like these celebrities and whatever else. They're trying to hold an image all the time. It's draining. So draining.
The third question that I ask people is, I know we kind of spoke about your early days. What is it that you would change about yourself now?
What I would change now?
Right now, yeah. From all your experiences and everything, what you would change right now that you still kind of bothers you? Because now you said it, you're going to have to change it.
What would I change right now? It's something that I'm working on in a minute, but it's like what I said to you before. It's like my fulfillment. I'm never fulfilled. and I hate it. It drives me nuts, and it worries me. To be honest,
mate.
It's like
so relatable.
It's like when I think back to where I was 12 months ago to where I am now, physically, mentally, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm 10 times where I thought I would be, right? But I'm so I don't know. I just feel like I'm never going to be happy, and that really worries me. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same with relationships, financially.
Man, I get panic attacks about that.
Yeah.
That's literally like what you said is, I never really thought about it, but I'm never fulfilled. Like I could win £10 million and I'll still want more.
Yeah, you'll find some reason not to be happy.
Yeah, and it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, that for me, like, again, I don't know if that's something that I will be able to change, but I think it's something that you can work on.
You reckon?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, I think a lot of people don't realise is that I think you have certain characteristics and they're your characteristics.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's only up to you is you can change them.
That's it.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
it.
And you can do stuff to try and change it. Like, I'm doing a lot of counselling.
Likewise, yeah.
You know, I read books. I do a lot of personal development and stuff like that. But it always sort of comes back to that. No matter what I do, it's always like I'm never satisfied. Do you know what I mean? And it's. I said this to my mum. I had a long conversation with her recently, and it was like, you want to hear it from other people that you're okay and like, you know, you're doing well and that, but inside you're just like, this ain't good enough.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And you worry because you're like, if I had 50 million quid in the bank, would I be happy then?
Literally,
do you know what I mean?
Man, spot on.
And like, if you think to what you would be like if you had 50 million quid, then you'd think you'd be really happy, but you don't know. Do you know what I mean? And they say like money only amplifies who you are right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're a dick right now, you're going to be a dick with 50 million quid.
Would you say money brings happiness?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, mate. Like I'm no advocate for. I'm not saying I'm a multi-millionaire or whatever, but I'm doing very well.
You are,
and like it doesn't, mate.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. It just literally amplifies who you are as a person.
It's how you are with it. If you're smart with the money, then maybe it can buy you happiness.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just, when they get too much money, it just takes them to a different world that a lot of people end up hating, and then them hating themselves as well. But that's just one of those things that I need to be in that position to even know what that will be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, just being smart with money. Like, I've watched you, and that's one of the main reasons I brought you on, to talk about self-development, because ever since like working with you, like when we was younger, you've always had the attitude of read these self-development book. I never really thought about that back then. I was only like 18, 19, and since then I've always been a massive fan of just completely growing, like my mind just changing how I am, getting constantly better. And again, I never feel like I've got to that point where I am a perfect human being. And that's what these podcasts is all about. It's just getting people on and trying to understand how they are as a person and see where I could bring to my life, like relating to them, and how I could change my life with that.
My dad left when I was 7. Can go into that as well,
yeah.
like, because that really, really affected me. Yeah, my dad left when I was 7. He was doing all sorts of wrong stuff, and it come all on top for him. And he left the family, just randomly got up one day and left us all in the mess.
Sorry to hear that, man.
No, it's alright, it's fine now. But it can't. Do you know what it is? Like at the time, obviously you're broken and whatever else, but as you grow up, you kind of know it. Kind of makes you who you are.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? And
totally.
I'm very protective over my family now. Like my sister, my mum. It's always been us three. Do you know what I mean? And it's I had to grow up very, very quickly.
Right,
because there was no man around. Do you know what I mean? There was no one to tell me, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way because there was no one to guide me. Obviously, you got your mum telling you this, that, and the other, but
there's so much they could do.
Yeah, but you need that man authority figure.
100%, man, 100%.
Like loads of different things, but
we'll get into that actually.
Yeah. I left school. Well, I didn't leave school. I got kicked out of school.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, funny enough, we was having a fight.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, do you not remember?
I think I do. Was it in another school?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Getting kicked out then.
Yeah, so I remember my mum went nuts, mate. She went nuts. I was scared to go home, to be fair. Like, I'm not scared of people, but my mum, she still scares me. Like, yeah, like she's when she flips, I can see where I get that temper from. Right. Because when she goes, she shits me up. Like, I'm scared. I'll just run out the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. I told her, and she went nuts. And I tried to get like a plumbing apprenticeship at Kent College.
Right.
Didn't get in there because all my grades were terrible.
Yeah.
then I ended up doing a little plumbing course in...
Oh, shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I ended up doing a plumbing course. I was there for about 2 months. To be fair. It wasn't a bit of me at all, really.
College or?
Yeah, it was Kent College. It was like... I can't remember what it was. It was just some industrial state, but that really ain't a bit of me. Do you know what I mean? But like, because that mindset, I had that mindset from a young age. Like, I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to be, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the sort of people that are there are not thinking the way I'm thinking. You know, without sounding like an idiot, but it was just like, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I was quick to get out of that. And that's when I went into sales. And obviously you see all the fast cars and all that sort of stuff. And at a young age of 16, you get sold in that quick. And I picked it up really quickly with sales. You know, it was a shock to everyone because, as you said, and everyone knows me, I'm quite a quiet person in terms of I won't express myself. But in selling, it was almost different because it was like everything everything I want, this person can pay for on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got my car, you've got my house, you've got this, so I need to sell you on the idea of whatever it was. And that's the way I thought from a young age. And yeah, I got really, really good at sales. And again, from a young age, very young age, I earned too much money too quickly. And
you was doing so well, man.
Yeah, like I was doing too well, I think. Like silly money. And that ruined me. Yeah. Ruined me because I had this image that I had to portray. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember going up to London and spending like £6,500 on shoes. Oh,
God, shoes, go on, boy.
I was just an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And but that weren't for me. That was just because I wanted to show everyone. Do you know what I mean? And that went on for so long, and that mentally draining. Trying to uphold an image that everyone expects. Do you know what I mean? And my mum at the time, not disowned me, but she was just like, "You do you." Do you know what I mean? Really? Like this ain't you at all. And I remember like my mum was just like. Yeah, I was just a different person. I weren't nice. All I cared about was money. Like, I didn't give a shit about anyone, girls, everything. It was just like, I'll use everyone around me to get what I want, basically. And I was just turning into a not a nice person, to be honest. And
when did you realise that? Was
now,
that years
probably.
later or just recently?
Like at the time, because you're so wrapped up in a bubble, you're like, oh, fuck everyone else. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing
at that
this.
age as well, you're just like, fuck everyone,
you're like, at that age, you're just like, fuck everyone else. I'm doing me, you're doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, almost like an arrogance, like an ego. And this is what I mean, like talking about past relationships. I was with a girl that we grew up with in secondary school. So she saw me as that young, humble kid that was self-centered, what's the word? Really insecure, quiet, and stuff like that. She saw me as that young, not innocent kid, but like not that person that I was folding into. And and then like I changed massively, and I couldn't work out why she wanted to leave. Right. Because I always thought like we were doing all these lovely things, going on these lovely holidays, buying all these nice things, but that don't, like, certain women, powerful women, that don't impress them. No. Do you know what I mean? And being insecure, thinking I'm going to I can't show you love. That's one thing I really struggle with. We're getting to that, everyone. Right, I can't show love. I really struggle with it. I love you, but I can't tell you I love you. I struggle expressing that. And do you know what I think that is? Because when I grew up as a kid, right, I watched my mum lose everything. You know, the nice house that we had, the nice cars from my dad, everything, to going into a council home. Moving around as a young kid, and I watched my mum be bulletproof. I never saw my mum cry. You know, and I know deep down she just lost the love of her life. Do you know what I mean? Like her soulmate, and she was broken, but she never showed that to us. She never showed that to us, and that's why that's great. Like, she used to do, like, when I think back about it, like the stuff that she used to do just to make sure that we was okay. Like, she'd work all day. Then she'd have a night job as well, just to make sure that we had food on the table. Had a nice Christmas birthday. Right, man. Do you know what I mean? And like, from where I'm going with that is that I never saw emotion. I never saw like her. She obviously told us she loved us and stuff like that, but I never saw someone vulnerable. I feel like when you tell people you love them and so that you're showing your vulnerability. So I became very like blocked off. Just solid. From like emotion, but inside dying. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that one, and then I had another one after that. She'd look me in the eye and say, "I love you," and I wanted to say it back. But I'm just like, yeah, I love you. You know what I mean? And then I buy her something and be and that's how I'm showing you I love you. But they don't like, proper women don't love that. Don't like that. Do you know what I mean? They just want you.
Yeah.
They want you to love them. And I know that now. And it's like, that's what I mean. Like now, I know people that are still doing that sort of stuff, like buying their birds loads of shit.
That's the thing. I mean, just hearing all that, it's fucking mental how relatable we are. Like, I mean, me growing up with my single mum and just like your mum would hide the fact that she's struggling and stuff, whereas my mum would actually come home and cry and stuff.
Oh, really?
It's only just been me and my mum. It's only recently, 8 years ago, my mum gave birth to my little sister. But mate, honestly, just hearing that, it's mad. I would have never thought.
Would you say that's because I watched a couple of your podcasts? You said you're quite an emotional person.
Yeah, 100%.
So would you say that's why? Because you've seen.
Because I've seen that. See, if my mum was more like, "Come on, Alvi, what are you doing? Why are you crying?" She would tell me like, "Alvi, don't fight. Alvi, don't do this." Like, and then she would come home one day because she had a stressful day and start crying and stuff. And I'm like, seeing all that.
Yeah,
Whereas if I had a dad, do you reckon how you are and how angry you are as well is because of like your dad leaving and how.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Like I was such an angry kid. Such an angry kid. Like I had so much built up. I still to this day haven't had a conversation with him about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have contact with him?
No, I don't.
Really?
This happened recently. We did, and then he done something recently, and I just can't. Unless you've gone through something like that, it's very difficult to explain. Do you know
That's
what
the
I mean?
thing. I don't want people listening thinking, "Oh, I've gone through this, I've gone through that." Like, there's no competition. It's just everyone's life is different, and it's how people take it.
Yeah.
I always like tell people never compare your life to someone else. No one's gonna ever understand. Your life will always sound worse because of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, I think one example I used was it's like if Kanye West come in this place, he would think, "What is this shithole?" Whereas for me, it's just like, man, I've got a big TV, I'm in a nice place, this is all me.
It's your perception, isn't it?
Exactly.
Very true. Like I remember my mum saying, right, we was going. This is when my dad. So, cut long story short, my dad fled the country. He went to Spain.
Right.
Lived out there. Was on a run out there. Didn't hear from him for years, and eventually one day we just had a random phone call on the house phone, and it was him. And we flew out there. I remember running up to him. He put his arms out like I was going to hug him, and I just started punching him.
Did you?
Yeah, I was only young.
What age was that?
Don't know, I can't remember, maybe 10, 11, maybe a bit older. And I started hitting him. Because I would just don't, like, you're just so confused as a young kid. Like, you're the man that you're most trust. This is another thing, like, I struggle with trust. The man that you was meant to idolise, and the man of the house, and the man you thought you'd trust more than anything, has left. And that gave me a real big problem later on down the line with trust issues.
Of course.
Even if someone would they would never do anything to me. I struggle bad with that shit because the person closest to me and my family. This is what people don't understand. Like, why have you got trust issues? Because the person closest to me who meant to love me as their son left. Do you know what I mean?
People don't understand how mad that actually is.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine leaving your kids?
And yeah, age, was it 7, you said?
Something like that.
That's an old enough age to know what's happening, what's going on, especially when you need a father figure.
Yeah.
Especially going to school and stuff. Oh, mate, I 100% get that.
But you know what it was? Because of what my dad was doing, it wasn't just he left and that was it. I saw the aftermath of it. I saw people come around to the house threatening to kill my mum, threatening
because of your dad?
Because of my dad, yeah. He was drug dealing and whatever.
Fuck.
Big drug deal. It wasn't like little one.
You literally had to be the man of the house at early doors.
And I saw big men coming through the door, threatening my mum, knife points or whatever, and police raiding my house every couple of weeks. I was laying in bed. I remember them flipping the mattress. I was thinking, he ain't going to be under the fucking mattress, you know what I mean? But there was helicopters going over the house.
Holy shit.
Police dogs. This went on as a young kid.
Yeah.
And trying to like... And when people wonder why I was so messed up as a kid, it's because there's a lot people don't know about. Course, do you know what I mean? And all that anger with my dad, like feeling upset, feeling unsure, it was all from that. All from that. Wow. You know, it was nothing, like if I would have grown up normally, I probably wouldn't be the way I am. And now I'm grateful for it because I've come out the other end. But at the time, I was always in like self-pity, like why me? Yeah, why did this happen to me?
Feeling sorry for about yourself is the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst, mate. I think like now I fall into that so quick.
Same, so
quick.
bad.
Yeah, like why do I feel like this? Why?
That's why we keep going counselling still.
Yeah, definitely. But Yeah, and like that went on for ages, and as a young kid, so violent. Like it was just built up anger over time, and again, it was just laying that onto other people, being insecure. So I feel terrible inside, so I'm going to make you feel terrible inside. And it was like a bully. It was just a bully.
To be fair, mate, you've actually been ghosting for a while in Bromley. Like, I haven't heard about you for like a few years.
Well, do you know what it is? I kind of killed Bromley. Do you know what I mean? I killed the area in the sense that I'd done everything at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing the stuff that people are doing now when I was 18.
Yeah, you were.
And 10 times bigger. Like the pies I was throwing, the mad nights out, the extravagant things. I was doing all that when I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I see people doing it now and I just think, I'm so glad I got that out of my system then, because it's like now, this is the time to be knuckling down and focusing on your future, not a time to be going out getting fucked up every weekend. Do you know what I mean?
I know we're kind of rushing ahead as well, but I was thinking, is there anything that you look back and like, I know a lot of people say don't ever regret anything in your past because it makes you the person who you are now. But is there anything you regret?
So much.
It's really?
So much.
So you don't feel like it's got you to a position where you are now mentally?
Do you know what it is? It's the people I hurt along the way.
Right.
It's not so much the decisions I made for me. It's the people that I affected along the way.
Yeah.
Like past relationships. Like that girl I was talking about, I left school and with. She was a good girl. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't see that at the time because I was so blinded by the money and being
people also changed though, man. That was when we were so young. Like, I don't know if she'll be the same person as who you met before. I don't know if you have touch with her, but
no. Do you know? I haven't spoken to her for a long time. To be fair, we was in communication a little while ago, but that's as far as it went. Communication. You know, people grow up, people change, and you know what the sad thing is, right? People will just sort of they'll see you and think back to the times where you was that person. They don't know that you've changed. Course, do you know what I mean? And
can't blame them, to be fair. That's
you know, a lot of people when I see them and I talk to them and stuff, they're like, I never knew this shit about you. Do you know what I mean? They only ever saw it and they act like a prick.
Like me.
Yeah, like you. Yeah. Like we talk and that every now and then. We're like I should say that we probably talk every day because the videos and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, like people don't know these sort of sides to me, and it's almost. I've said this before. I was so good at covering up, making it seem everything was very all good.
It's crazy hearing that. I always thought I was alone, like doing all that shit.
Yeah,
when
I think a lot of men do that though, don't they?
I'd probably say so. A lot of people we don't know probably dealt with some crazy shit in their lives.
No, he had to flee.
Oh, he had
because
to,
basically what happened was he owed a lot of people a lot of money.
Right.
He was basically a very big drug dealer, doing really, really well, making like millions of pounds, and he ended up taking it. Started taking his own supply. Apparently, this is what I've never had the conversation with him. I've only come from my mum, and he just went off the rails with it. He got really addicted to it, and again, we'll go into that with me. I got addicted to that stuff, and I see a lot of myself in my dad, like the manipulation. I've seen him manipulate my mum, like, and I didn't like it at all. I remember him coming back into the country, and probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was, because I'm so protective over them, I remember he made my mum cry recently, and my mum was in a really good place, and my mum was getting ill. She actually went into hospital because of it, because she has angina.
Stress.
Like, which is like, it's like heart problems.
Fuck.
And he stressed her out.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing my mum in the hospital, and I rang him up and I just threatened him. Yeah, I just threatened him, and it was horrible to threaten your own dad that you're going to bash him up. Do you know what I mean? And I would have as well. Like, I wouldn't, if something happened to my mum because of him, I got no loyalties to that man. He had zero loyalties towards me. 100%. My 100% loyalties with my mum. And I would have done something horrible to him if something would have happened to her. But I remember ringing him up and I was crying my eyes out afterwards, like, because it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like having to threaten your own dad. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, but he was the exact same as me when he was drinking and using. And I saw I never thought, like, I always thought I was just me. But as I see him and got more time around him, and like I grew up, like as I started to see him more, I see everything that I would do in him.
Right.
And I think that's where I get it from.
Fuck.
Yeah, like the manipulation, I was big on that. I used to manipulate everything.
But I reckon because he also left you at such a young age and you had to be the man of the house, your urge is like you need to get money to supply for the family.
Yeah. Like I left when my house, but again, you say that, right?
Yeah.
I left when I was 16 or 17. I remember leaving and saying...
you was living in a penthouse at 17.
Yeah, I met like Bloomsbury. I was living in that penthouse there. But the one before that, I remember saying to my mum, I'm leaving, right? And she went mad. Because obviously I was 16, 17. Like, she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
moving out at 16, 17. But that was the vision I had. I wanted to be out. I wanted to be putting myself under pressure. Like, I would do a lot of that, you know. And sometimes, again, like I said to you earlier, I got a mad migraine today because I'm overthinking everything, putting myself under pressure. But yeah, I remember moving out and my mum threw my shit at me. Like, everything, she threw it at me at the door. And and just started building from there. But do you know what it is? Like, that's when my addiction and drinking started to kick in. Right. Do you know what I mean? And this is kind of like a whole nother story. But
we'll go into it. It's all self-development.
Yeah. Like, I've struggled bad with alcohol and drugs. Like, really bad. And do you know what it is? Like, you know, you've obviously been at parties where people go into them mad cocaine conversation. And they just go deep, and you walk in on it and you think, where the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, you have to be in it from the start to understand what's going on. If you walk in halfway, you're like, what is going on? Like World War II being chatted about, fucking aliens and all sorts. But I knew, everything that happened with me, my dad and stuff, I always put to the bottom. Yeah. I never spoke about it to anyone.
No.
And it was always the conversation that would always arise when I was out of my head.
You would bring it up?
Yeah, I would bring it up, and I knew, because you just get honest with that shit. Yeah, you know? Like, you just get deeply honest, and it was always a topic of conversation, and I knew that there was something going on there, and I knew that bothered me, and I ain't going to say that's the reason why I used a lot, but it definitely was a contributing factor.
It's just that feeling of feeling all right with how you're feeling, and there's only to feel like that you have to have drugs. Yeah. That's how I saw it anyway. You're sober now, aren't you?
I'm sober. 7 months today, actually. Funny enough.
Wow, that is nuts.
But I went 2.5 years, and then I relapsed quite badly. This was last year, but yeah, like it was always a topic of conversation that I brought up, and it all, like, using drugs and alcohol starts off as a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's a part of it. You have like half a packet or whatever. Then for me, again, that addiction kicks in, and it started off going from 1 to 2 to 3, 4 a night. And then I remember the first time I stayed up to like 6 or 7 in the morning. I was just completely normal. Do you know what I mean? And like, I remember not even getting up, just going to work. I remember, like, we was working in London at the time, and I remember getting up for work, and there was like a bag of gear on the side, and there was my bread and toast, and I remember putting the bread in the toaster, and then I have no intention of doing it. Come out the shower, the gear's on the side. I thought, fuck it, just do a line, take the cocaine up to work with me, and like 8 in the morning, I'm out my head.
Wow.
Like, and that went on for a long time. I was out my head at work. Like, but again, I was normal.
Turned to a routine.
But I was normal on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd go into have a cup of tea, like, I'd just get on with work, but being out of my head. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Like, but now when I think back, like, if I was to do something now, I'd be the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I was going to say. Like, that's where, like, it was fun. It was a joke. It was a good laugh. Like, it was all part of that lifestyle of earning money, drugs, alcohol. Everyone was doing it. I don't know anyone around me that doesn't do it.
The area in the work that we was doing, it's just a lot of people are doing it, and you just had to feel like, we didn't really have to, but it makes you feel like you're part of it.
Like, if someone weren't doing it at a party, you'd be like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, but it almost is like, I'm never saying, like, people didn't get invited if they weren't bringing drugs with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like there's only one person that I know that never done that, and that's he was the only one.
I always told him as we got older as well, when I think it was like 24, 25, and I was like, mate, if you come so far not doing it, never do it. Yeah,
like, the amount of conversations he must have listened into, thinking, what the fuck? Yeah. But he would be in there, like this, and he'd go to sleep at 2 o'clock, and we'd all still be awake 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But it was just like normal. Do you know what I mean? And it went on for a long time, and then something happened. Something I can't talk about in too much detail, but something happened where paranoia kicked in. Yeah. And I remember one time I got really paranoid.
Really? You normally don't get paranoid?
Not on drugs, no. Not at the start. I could go for days on it and no problems. Then one thing happened when I was on it, and do you know what it is? Like, now I understand how the brain works. Drugs amplify how you're feeling at the time. Of course. And it's an anchor, it's an emotional anchor. So whatever you're feeling at the time, your chemicals in your body will link you back to that feeling. It's like the McDonald's theme tune. When you hear like da 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 da, the first thing you think of is McDonald's. It's like when you're at a funeral and a song comes on 6 months down the line. That song comes on the radio. First thing you think about is that
funeral.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me. Like I got paranoid once on it, and every other time, then after that, a certain time in the evening, I'd get really paranoid.
What was your surroundings when you first had the paranoia? Like,
I was in Bloomsbury.
Okay.
And yeah, it was horrible, mate. I thought someone was coming through the door.
Really?
Yeah, like I would be so scared. Like,
was you on your own?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like I was crawling across the floor.
No fucking
I thought someone
way.
was like looking in through the window. I looked through the keyhole, and that went on for so. This is the craziness that drugs can take you. Like that went on for years, mate.
At the time, didn't you know it was because of drugs, or were you just actually thinking someone's after you?
No, the truth is, probably no one was after me.
No, yeah.
But like, when you're that intensely paranoid,
didn't you wake up the next day thinking, "Oh, I need to calm down with that. What's just happened?"
Or you do wake up the next day. 3 days later, your brain's very quick to forget that bit. Your brain will remember the euphoria bit. Your brain will remember how you felt before that. It will quickly forget all that horrible,
that's a good point, yeah.
like pains, terrified how you are, looking at windows and stuff like that. It will forget all that. And then every week, for me, it was like, I'm back here again. How the fuck, like did I not learn from last week? And then that went on for years and years and years. And then it was only when it got to a point where it was like, I can't do this anymore because my health got really bad. I got put in hospital for 2 weeks.
What age was that?
This was 2014, so 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in hospital for 2 weeks and it really scared me.
Why was you in hospital?
I got something called ulcerative colitis.
What's that?
Ulcers in your colon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it developed from like just a mad lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
So it's because of the drugs and stuff.
Yeah, and it really sort of scared me, and I nearly died, mate. I nearly died. Yeah, I remember the doctors. I was out my head of morphine at the time. Again, only excuse to use a drug. Like I just kept asking for more and more morphine. Morphine's mad. I don't know how people get addicted to that. It's not nice. You never had it?
No, never.
Oh, it's not nice.
Really?
I'm trying to think. Can I save you?
When I was younger, yeah.
Okay, like you know that when you're in that hole, it's like that.
Oh
but
shit!
It's like everything's spinning, and you're looking at your hands, and it's like I don't know how people get addicted to it. It's horrible.
Fuck.
I remember laying on the bed, and the room was just spinning, and I can hear everything that's going on around me, but I didn't you just don't register anything. That's probably why it's such a strong painkiller. And I remember the doctor coming in saying, "Listen, we need to get him this certain medicine, otherwise he could die because my colon was about to burst."
Did you feel in pain? Like, was you in pain?
Oh, mate.
Really?
Never experienced pain like it. Horrible. Like horrible. I would not wish it on anybody. Like I can't explain it, mate.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely horrible. And this brings me on that I was only 6 months into my new relationship at the time. And I hid that from her for a long time. It was only when I went down to like 66 kilo.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Wow. Was you eating alright? Or were you just
no,
eating?
that's the main thing. Like diet messes it up. But I went into skin and bone. I could feel my spine in the bath.
Oh, mate,
that sort of
that's
thing.
nuts.
Yeah, it was horrible, and I hid that from the new partner, and she couldn't work out. She thought I was on drugs because I used to leave the room to try and start because it was so much pain. I didn't want her to see it, so I used to leave the room every half an hour.
Is it because of feeling vulnerable and you didn't want to show that you're weak?
Probably, but it was just mate, unless you've gone through what it does to you, it's really difficult to explain it. It was horrible, mate. I was in King's Hospital for 2 weeks, and I was on these mad strong drugs, like these immune suppressant drugs, and it was horrible. That was like the lowest of lows I've been. And but again, she rode with me. She rode through that. Do you know what I mean?
This is the latest.
Yeah, the latest one, and I always respect her for that. And again, talking about. I cringe at the way that relationship turned out. Not turned out, but the way I was in that relationship. Because it weren't that I was doing anything wrong physically. I weren't going behind her back and stuff like that. She knew everything that was going on. Do you know what I mean? But it was the emotional torture that I put her through because of how I was insecure. And she'd come in really buzzing. I'd feel shit, and I made her feel shit very quickly. Do you know what I mean? And it's horrible because she was such a good girl. Such a good girl, and that's when we talk about regrets. That's one of the biggest regrets I have. Yeah, she'd have done anything for me.
Oh, bless her, man.
And at the time, you don't see that.
No,
do you know what I mean? And at the time, I was still in that mindset of all I care about is money.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care about anything else. And
how long ago was this then? Like, when did you
so we broke up probably 3-4 years ago.
Okay, right.
And do you know, it was quite a weird breakup. Like, we kind of just, it was just like a mutual thing. It weren't no sour breakup.
Yeah,
like, I didn't
yeah.
cheat, she didn't cheat.
That's what I thought my breakup was going to be. Like.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, nothing. I don't want to bait about it. It's too recent.
We just spoke about it off camera.
Yeah,
and I
we
was
did.
like,
Yeah, it's
Jesus
recent.
Christ. Yeah,
I mean, the whole story's funny, but I'll talk about it one day.
Yeah. But yeah, like, listen, that girl she was unbelievable. And when I think about it, you know, like what the relationship we had at the start and like all the way through, it was good.
Yeah.
Like, we had a really good time. Like, we went away to the Disney and Mexico, and
Mexico's nice, isn't it?
yeah, Mexico's really nice. But I remember going to Disney. We went first class.
Oh, sick.
Stayed in Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah.
Like, we went in on that holiday. It cost me.
What was you doing trading back then?
Yeah, I was in sales at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was doing really, really well. And
Right.
but even with that, right? Again, this is how messed up my head is, right? I went out there and then for some reason I just felt that she didn't appreciate it because I knew how much it cost. Like, it weren't cheap. It weren't no $2,000. Like, we're talking like 20 grand.
Of course, yeah.
To go out. Do you know how expensive Disney is?
Mate, cool,
I don't know how families and fours do it. Like, it's like 150 quid a ticket for like a day. And we went in, we done everything out there. And for some reason, I just had this resentment that she didn't appreciate it. Like, even though she was loving it.
Yeah.
But I found a negative in it somehow.
That's what I'm like. It's so bad.
Yeah. And it is, like, mate, that holiday was unbelievable. I'd love to go back to Disney and do it.
Really? That good, yeah?
Mate, it was so good. I'm like a little kid. Like, I love all that stuff, like Marvel.
Cool,
and
yeah, same.
all that. That's what it's like out there. It's unreal. But yeah, like, it was just, that relationship was incredible. And again, like, if I had the chance to try and rekindle it, I probably would try. I was scared of being alone. Probably, again, if we're going to go deep into it, because I was left as a child.
Yeah.
I didn't like being alone. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of selfishly kept her around for a long time. I say kept her around, that's probably the wrong thing to say, because I wanted her around. But it was like, you're just there. Do you know what I mean? You're like an entity.
Yeah.
Like, we always... It weren't like I would just sit on my phone the whole time. We were there. We didn't... Again, this is another thing. Like, we would just sit there and watch telly. And she'd try and talk to me. And I'd want to listen, but I'd just be like... I can't be bothered to have this conversation. Do you know what I mean? And that's what girls want.
Yeah.
Girls are quite simple creatures, like the normal ones. Some of them are a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to say that. But women are quite simple creatures. You show them you love them. I'm not saying I'm some love guru now, because I really ain't. I'm
people listening, man.
Single, but I know how they work.
Oh, you're single,
I've been in some, like, do you know what I mean? I've been in relationships where I know, kind of coming back reflecting on it. I know, like, they just want to be loved and listened to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you think that? Yeah. Like, your stories. That's what I mean. You get them odd occasions.
You get those odd occasions.
Yeah,
I never ever thought I'd be in that position, man. Like, just, I don't know. I see films and stuff, and I think, that's funny. Just me being involved in it, it's just horrible.
But you've said, right, you're quite an emotional person.
I am.
I see that thing you mentioned about going on a date. Like, you'll say to a bird, like...
what's going on?
Yeah.
I would literally...
That's mad.
Is it? Not you as well?
Yeah. I don't... Do you know what it is?
What?
Like, I don't know. Like, for me...
I thought out of anyone, you would be the most sort of like... You go all in for like...
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't let them know that.
Right.
Like, you just pretty much just say, like, what are we?
Yeah, what is this? Alright, this is third date now. Where is this heading?
But do you know what it is? I think, like, girls like a man to take the scruff of the neck. Do you know what I mean? So this is what we are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They want that man to go, you know what, this is what we are. This is what we're doing.
Said, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And this is the
control.
direction we're going in. Not like, you're my girlfriend now.
No,
like,
yeah.
Like,
I like you. I want to go this way.
I like you. I'm going to commit to you. You ride with me, or that's it. And that's the mindset I've got now. Like, with girls that I'm talking to someone at the minute.
Nice.
Kind of like, I don't really know where it is at the minute, but it's like, I'm only, because she's very ambitious. She's got her own job. She makes good money, mate. Very good money. She's
I love a girl that's ambitious, man. That's another thing of mine, like what you said as well. Honestly, finding that is so hard out there.
Yeah,
especially in Bromley.
Do you know what? I think it's probably a little bit easier now.
We're growing up to be fair. We're
Pete,
finding, good.
I need someone who's like on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And almost like more driven than me. I like that. It really turns.
It even
me
helps you to be driven as well.
Yeah,
motivates
you. That's what I was going to say. Like, you want a woman to bring the best out in you.
Yeah.
She would be quite happy if I was just living a normal life. Average.
This girl listening to this might feel uncomfortable with you missing this girl so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I didn't think of that, to be fair. No, but listen, like it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't look the girl I got in a minute. Great girl.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is at the minute.
There's always one that gets away though. It doesn't really.
Yeah. And it's not like I kind of feel bad now that you said that. To be fair, 'cause I haven't really thought about it. I'm thinking about me again. But yeah, like fast forwarding on, I had my own cleaning business and whatever, and then all this health stuff went on. I went in hospital in 2014. Then years later, it come back again, and I was running the business. I had like 30 employees of cleaners. Yeah, wow. We had like massive contracts.
Nice.
Doing really well, and my health just took over, and I couldn't even get out of bed, let alone run a business, and I had to close it down.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was ag, mate.
Was it good money in that?
Yeah, it was decent money. Yeah, I was like the contracts that I had, I was big money. But it was like, it was just stress, mate. Trying to like run 30 women, basically that's what it is. Trying to run 30 women when you're healthy is okay. When you're really ill is very difficult. I tried to give it over to my auntie, who was one of the cleaners, to try and help her to run it, but it was just too much. Do you know what I mean? It was too much going on. We had like 300 properties we were managing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All from the estate agents and stuff.
Yeah, from estate agents. Yeah, one in London, one in Sydenham. I was getting them all around here, KFH and stuff like that. So.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was good. It was going really well, mate, and the business was growing really fast. But this is what I mean. Like everything I put my mind to, I've always done well at.
Yeah.
And my mum said to me like years ago, whatever you're interested in, you'll go all in on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone was talking to me about something I'm not interested in, I will just switch off.
Getting your mind frame from being that angry, just naughty, to like being a professional adult earning decent amount of wage. Do you still struggle from that transition, or was it like a? Would you say it's a smooth transition?
I don't know if it was a transition. I think I may have just always been like that. I've always wanted more, like as we've spoken about.
You've always been an adult from an early age.
Yeah, like anything I've done, I've done better than I thought I would do. Do you know what I mean? I pick stuff up really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm one of them ones that can go in, spend a couple of days on it or whatever, and I pick it up really quick if it interests me.
Of course.
Like if it doesn't, then.
Even your videos, mate, you could tell how comfortable you are now compared to like.
I was watching back my first video a couple of weeks ago.
How cringy is that?
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm like looking to the side of it, and I'm like,
you're smashing it, man.
I struggle to look at myself. I struggle to watch them back now. Like the only time I watch them back is when you send it to me, and I check for the.
I never watch mine back.
Yeah, it's cringe, isn't it? Yeah. I'll watch this back though because it'll be good. But yeah, I don't know if it was ever a transition. Like I just, as I said, it kind of went from that trying to be as good at. Trying to be the best at everything I was doing, which kind of you take into adult life, which is now money related. Because it's like as a kid, you're not really focused on making money.
Of course.
You're just focusing on being a little whatever.
Right,
yeah. So I just took that mindset from that to that, and I think that's why I've always done well at things. Do you know what I mean? And trading, I'm not going to say I picked that up straight away because it took me ages to get good at it. I struggled with risk management. I'd lose load of money.
Did you have income coming while you was training, I guess?
Yeah, so I was doing little bits and bobs here on the side and stuff like that. So money was coming in there. I had a bit of money saved up and that. And it took me a good 6 to 9 months before I actually started to turn a profit with trading.
Nice. And now that's your full-time thing?
Yeah, full-time now. I don't do anything else. You're not really full-time. Like my style of trading, I trade about 20 minutes a day. If that. And it's like... in and out 2:30. I'm done by 20 to 3.
Shit.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's so sick.
Yeah, but like, do you know what it is with trading, right? People think that you need to be sitting in front of a computer with 50
screens. That was one of the questions I got as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So like, people think that like you have to be sitting in front of a camera with, in front of a screen with 20 screens up. You don't really need to do that. No. It can be so simple trading if you just have your risk management sorted out. From what I was doing before to what I'm doing now, and what I'm doing a lot better than that then, but it's that the earning capacity in trading is unlimited.
Of course,
like you grow your account. You could make millions of pounds a year, month, whatever you want to do. Do you know what I mean? So, and that again, that excites me. Do you know? I would never be one of them people that wanted to go on a salary. Never. I've never been on a salary. It's always been commission only.
Yeah.
Because I believe that you need to bring value to the party, not. I would hate that. Like, imagine.
But then that's why I feel like your head's 1,000 miles per hour. You can't relax.
Yeah.
You're always kind of thinking about other ways to make money.
Yeah.
Like coming out of the commission mind frame, because after even like working in sales. This is kind of like the first sort of like the past 4 or 5 years, I'll say I've been in a salary environment. There's no commission. That's why I'm doing these like extra jobs like editing and stuff. It is hard, man, because you're working so hard and you're not getting.
Yeah, like whatever you put in or don't put in, you're going to get paid the same. But I can guarantee you, if it was commission only, you'd be smashing.
Oh mate,
you'd be making even more money.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
And that's what, like, that's the same with me. I've always thrown myself in the deep end.
Yeah,
so deep.
Yeah,
like just go balls deep. I have this little quote with the group, like balls to the wall, because that's the way I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time that was a hindrance, and that was why drugs and alcohol, I went balls deep with that. Probably I shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? But anything I do, I get obsessed about.
I think that's where your mind, I mean, obviously I don't know, you obviously go to your counsellor and stuff, but the fact that you've always been in that commission environment, if you literally have a day off, you're losing money.
Yeah,
that's mental.
Yeah, like if you don't work today, you don't make no money.
No, that's it.
Do you know what I mean? And I think the world would be a better place if everyone was commission only.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because you cut out the lazy people straight away. They'd get eaten alive,
100%.
and then you'd only get the winners winning. But like people, the sad thing is, people are happy with salaries, and if they are, good luck to them.
I think I'm gonna get in, like, more I watch your videos, it makes me get into trading.
Yeah.
And your videos are so well explained. So check his stuff out if you don't know what I'm talking about.
But that's another thing. Like, I remember when I first done it, and obviously I understand what I'm talking about, but you always think that someone else isn't. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I worried, like, with the videos, and they got a really good response really quickly.
Very
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the community I've got now, I've got like 520 something clients.
Nice.
And I built that in 3 months. I started in November.
You've probably got loads of other people following you that you don't know.
Yeah, loads.
From like YouTube and stuff.
Yeah,
only
loads.
following you through that.
I get mad emails and stuff like that on YouTube,
So
like doing sponsorship deals already.
Really? Already?
Mate, I'm only like, I've got like 2,500 followers, or 3,000 followers just under.
You're not entertaining them,
Sorry, subscribers. No. It's cringe. Like, someone asked me to do like, what? It's
That's just like free money though, no?
Yeah, but it's like, you're kind of selling out straight away. If Nike come to me, on the other hand...
That's why I'm wearing Nike, because of you. Like, you proper rep Nike. All your videos Nike.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm trying to get a Nike sponsorship. I'm joking, but no, it'd be... Mate, imagine having a Nike sponsorship.
Imagine that.
Like Kevin Hart. He's got the perfect fucking sponsorship.
He loves it.
He gets all of the new gym shit.
Everything, yeah. Time I thought you had a kid.
No, it's a nephew. Do you know how many people say that to me?
Yeah.
He apparently looks mad like me.
I was just about to say that he looks bare like you.
Really?
Like, yeah, I thought it was yours.
No, I ain't got a kid.
Holy shit, alright, fair enough, cut that out. I was going to talk to you about how's it being a dad and all that shit.
Yeah, no, I ain't a kid, mate.
Oh, fair play. Do you want a kid?
Yeah, man.
Do you?
Yeah, bad.
Do you reckon you're ready? Or
probably not,
like
but again, I've never been ready to anything.
I don't think no one's ready for having a kid.
Nah, but I'd make it work.
Yeah, that's how I feel, yeah.
I always make stuff work. Like, I always manage to pluck something out of it.
I thought that as well. Like, a lot of people, they feel like, even though it's good that you could deal with anything that comes to you, but you don't really have a choice. You have to kind of deal with it.
Yeah, especially now with everything that's going on.
Oh, mate.
No, it's not in anyone's control. And this is a big problem that I've had. It's like, because I'm not I'm a control freak, but I like to know what I'm doing and where I'm going. And when you've got something like this, and again, for someone with like an alcoholic or an addict, the worst thing is sitting in their own faults.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah, well, you're sitting in your own faults is what makes you use drugs and alcohol. So for me, being in this place, the last 7 months has been like, I'm in my own faults here, and I ain't going to drink or use, and then that's where I get very, very low very quickly.
What is it that made you realise who you were and what you are now? Like with me, I've read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life. He's got a second book coming. Mate, that literally changed the way I think about life and how I should be around people and what I should think about myself. Is it something like that kind of opened your eyes, like, shit?
Yeah, I've read a book called Psycho Cybernetics. That book changed it for me massively.
Really?
But do you know what probably the truth is? Life's probably taught me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The biggest lesson I've had with life and experience. Do you know what I mean? And I know what's going on now in my head. That's one thing was the worst thing before. I didn't know what was going on.
Really?
Like, you're having all these mad thoughts and you start thinking, does anyone else think like this? Or am I just crazy?
Yeah,
you know? It's like, they call it the washing machine head. Like, your mind just going like that. Yeah. And I used to think all this, and I used to think there was something wrong with me. That's why I remember when I went to the counsellor, and I was sitting there thinking, I've never been here before, I don't know what they are.
Oh, mate,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're weird. When you first go, you don't know what to expect. American guy, good geezer to be fair.
Yeah.
But again, luckily enough, he was like 10 years sober at the time. So I could talk to them about all that stuff.
Nice.
And they understand, they can relate.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And I remember going there and I remember just talking very, very like in myself. And then he said something, and all the way I can describe it is, you squeeze a bottle, and then you uncap the lid, and it go boom, and that is what happened.
It's the littlest question as well.
Yeah. Like within a second, I was deep into and by the end of it, I was like, no one's ever heard me say that before. And I didn't even know I had that in me. Do you know what I mean? But I come out of there feeling so like chilled.
You don't feel judged. You don't feel like it's such a nice feeling.
Yeah,
100%.
That's one thing that I probably, again, like this is life experience now. Like from going into CA and AA, it opened my eyes up massively because I remember going in there for the first time. I remember going into there. When did I go in there? So I must have been 23, 24.
Well, what triggered you to go in there, or did you have to go in there? Did you get told?
No, I didn't get like slung into rehab. I think I should have. Right. I can't actually remember what happened, but I remember being so in trouble, thinking this is really bad now. It was really messing up my health. I blacked out, passed out on the floor, like unconscious. That shit me up.
Whoa.
By
yourself?
Could have died.
You could have died,
No one. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. I remember it. There was all the stuff on the table. I was feeling like my chest was pumping at me, sweating, like shaking, paranoid. I couldn't stop that. Like if there was someone left that I had to finish it, even though I didn't want to do it.
Whoa.
And it was like that. And I don't remember too much, but I just remember blacking out and it was like, what the fuck just happened there? Do you know what I mean? And it's probably at that point when I thought, I've got a bit of a problem and I need to sort this out.
Was it easy to get into?
No. Because it was alien to me, all that shit. You go there, right? And I'm 24, 25. Everyone else is 40,
was it?
50. So straight away,
There's no young crowd there.
There was, but it was like the odd one I'd see here and there.
Yeah.
I didn't realise at the time they had young people's meetings, so younger people could go there. But again, it was me. It didn't help with the fact that, when I'm talking about, do I am the only one to think like this? Then it was like, am I the only one who's like this? Because everyone else in the room is double my age.
Yeah.
That didn't help me at all. And I remember sitting in the rooms and I was just sitting there. I wanted to say so much, but I was just sitting there in complete
Especially hearing
silence.
other people.
Yeah, because again, going in there and you're hearing some of their stories and how they think, it's like, I think like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck me, I'm not crazy. You're doing it.
Oh, that's nice.
Then you start to accept that, maybe you are an alcoholic or an addict. Because no one goes in there thinking I'm an alcoholic or an addict. No. You just think you've got a problem. But when you start hearing them and then what triggers them and how they think, and you think, Jesus.
Before then, did you know you had an addictive personality? Or?
Yeah, I've always been proper addictive. Like even
and you've
now.
Always known, or?
Pardon?
You've always known you've had an addictive personality?
Yeah, massively. Yeah. Like I'm the sort of person that will eat a bag of crisps and then have a second bag of crisps and then eat until that bag of crisps is finished, like the variety pack. Even though I feel very sick, I have to finish them. Or like chocolate.
Fuck,
I'd buy 10 kilos worth of chocolate and eat it until I was physically sick.
Yeah.
Like little things like that, do you know what I mean? And if I was doing something, it was always had to be to the extreme.
Right.
That's the same with drugs. Like everyone else would get 1, I'd get 4 or 5.
Fuck.
Like why?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Shit. Do you know what I mean? And I was not always trying to do one better, but I was probably always trying to do one better than myself. There's just the wrong way. Like I said, I don't know if I said this to you recently, but I said it the other day. I can go 100% in the right direction, and 95% of the time, I'm 100% towards that. 5% of the time, I can go that way, and I can go that way so quick.
Keep going that way as well.
And then you're all of a sudden you have to check yourself and like, shit, I'm here. Like now I know with the rooms and all it is like patterns during the day start to change. You drop out working out. You drop out reading. For me, I drop out prayer. Like little things like that. Start dropping them out, and then all of a sudden you slowly. I pray.
Religious?
No, I'm not religious, but I pray to a higher power
Really?
because I believe that I shouldn't be here today.
Well, I was going to ask you that actually.
Yeah, because like the way I used to behave and like do drugs, and I don't think like I feel like I was saved massively. I remember going to the hospital recently. This was only 6 months ago, and they tested my iron and blood levels, and they were so low, and they was like I mentioned about using and stuff like that, and it was like your heart is working 2-3 times quicker than it should be because you've got low iron.
Man. Yeah.
So imagine what it was like when you were sitting there till 11 o'clock in the morning, the pressure you were putting on your heart. And that's why towards the end I was getting really bad chest pains and pains down my arm. It used to freak
That's
me.
dangerous.
Yeah,
That
it
arm
used to
thing
freak me
fucked
out.
me
Yeah,
up.
that freaks you out.
Yeah.
And then you start panicking even more.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause you're like, shit, I'm going to die. And,
You go,
then you're
"Oh,
like trying to calm down.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're like
yeah.
out your edge. Do you know what I mean? And again, that made me realise. I was thinking,
yeah.
what the hell are you doing? Like, you should not be here. Do
Mm,
you know what I mean? And you hear about it all the time, like random people dropping dead, like from overdose
Such a
and stuff like
scary thought, man.
that. Yeah, like when that happened to me, it was just a random like Tuesday, and it was like,
Did you have a dog then?
yeah, I had the dog, yeah, and I think I did, yeah, and it was just a random. I could have just died on a random Tuesday
Literally.
morning for nothing. Like for what? No one was there. I wasn't having a party.
I think that's my worst fear is dying and no
same,
one coming. Oh,
same.
mate.
Hate it. I'm scared about it. I wouldn't say I spend a lot of time thinking about it, but when I start thinking about it, I get mad upset.
Yeah.
Because you think like, when it's it, it's it.
Is
Do you
it?
know what I
Oh,
mean?
mate. I get do you get panic attacks?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. And sometimes I don't realise I'm having them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
same.
mean? But you just feel yourself really like jittery. What's like a panic attack for you? How can
For
you...
me, like I get it for like 10 seconds. I'll think about death. I'll think about maybe dying alone. I mean, I've always had panic attacks for years since I was like 13. But that I just quickly like look at my surroundings. My counsellor was like, just look at like, I don't know, your sofa. Call it sofa. Look at the colour. Just make sure you're aware of your surroundings and you're right. Once you start telling yourself you're right, then you're just sweet. Just start thinking about something else. But that freaks me out. The thought of dying and
same.
no one being here.
Without this getting very dark, like
Yeah.
it actually freaks me out. Mate.
Yeah, man.
Not so much not someone being here. It's just the thought of like, when that's it, it's it.
Is it?
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, you may come back. Like no one knows. Do you know? What
I've
I mean?
always said that I would feel comfortable if I saw a ghost.
Yeah.
Because then I know there's something out there after death.
But like, would you want to come back as a ghost? You'd want to come back as another.
I would want to
human,
know
surely.
there's something happening after death.
You know,
what
just
I mean?
lay there in darkness.
Yeah, and you're just nothing there. Like what? You're just nothing.
You're just
oh
rotting
mate,
in the
like,
ground.
I could talk about it, but it's
Do
just.
you know what freaks me out? Getting cremated.
Oh,
'Cause
mate,
imagine you
yeah.
can still feel like
Yeah.
you're still feelings when you're dead,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you get set on fire.
Yeah, I don't want to be cremated, man.
No, but in the same respect, I don't want to be eaten alive by bugs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well, not eaten alive, but eaten. It's a weird old thought.
Mate,
innit?
it's scary,
I hate
man.
funerals. Like my uncle passed away. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was like. I've been to funerals where people not even related to me, and I'm probably more emotional than the people around me.
No way.
It just freaks me out.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
don't
Like
know.
1 minute they're here, and 1 minute they're gone. Like last week, I was talking to you, and you were a human. Now,
you're
where are
nothing.
you?
Yeah.
You've gone. You've left the planet.
Oh mate, that gives me fucking.
Freaks you out,
shivers,
doesn't
mate,
it?
like- Sharks, really? I was just about to say sharks are one of my favourite animals.
Really?
Yeah.
They're probably one of my favourite animals because they're just ruthless. They're like
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
predators. But they freak me out, mate.
Yeah.
I watch, again, I'm quite weird. I like to watch stuff that freaks me out.
Yeah.
I watch like closest calls with shark attacks and stuff like that. Have you seen them?
I've seen them.
Have you seen the one where it rips off the front of the
Yeah.
cage and
Oh,
the
right,
guy's
the cage
in it?
one. Yeah. I
Have you
have
seen
actually.
that?
I've seen that. And he
Mate,
gets in there as well.
Yeah, he's in there with him.
Yeah.
But he manages to swim out. I'll probably just faint.
No,
mate.
but yeah.
I'd like pass out, literally.
You get some people trying to stroke it, probably.
Yeah, but you know, if you stroke a shark, their skin's like razor blades.
Really?
Yeah, so it cuts you, it'll cut your hand.
No way.
That's like, if a shark bumps you and it hits you,
It'll be a scratch.
You usually cut you and then you're fucked because it's going to eat
Oh
you
yeah, the
then,
blood.
'cause
Yeah, of course. Yeah, fuck, man.
Why do people do like cage diving?
I would do that.
Really?
I would do that. Yeah, just like
You couldn't pay me £1 million to do that, honestly. Fuck,
I'm
probably
like with
pass
heights.
out. I'm like that with heights.
Really, yeah.
I don't know why. I'm so bad with heights.
Mate, heights. Literally looking down there, I get like vertigo.
Really?
Like, yeah, I get
I
weird.
hate it's weird. I'm gonna say, but I can go on roller coasters and that.
Yeah, same. Because I'm like strapped on.
In.
Yeah, I can literally
I'd
like,
probably
no hand
die
or
if we die if it like froze at the top of
Yeah,
that. Could you imagine?
fuck,
and you got to
mate.
walk down the stairs.
yeah, no, fuck.
No,
Skydiving, I'll never do that.
Really?
Nah, even if some guy strapped onto me, I'll never do that. Fuck that.
I think I'd like to do it, but I'd have to be physically pulled there. Do you know what I mean? And thrown out the plane.
I don't know, I
because
don't see
wouldn't.
the point.
Like bungee jumping, I don't understand.
Yeah,
that is just looks dumb.
That looks painful as well.
Yeah, like you just fly and then if it snaps, you're fucked.
Fucked.
Like, you just go straight to the
Yeah,
fucking
no
ground.
way, no.
But I think about that all the time with like parachutes. Imagine like reading skydiving. Imagine you pull it and it doesn't come out.
Anything could happen.
And you're just
Fuck
going
that.
like 100 miles.
I don't even rely on the second parachute.
Yeah,
Yeah, mate.
But you know what, again, thinking of it, because I was watching this the other day and they pull the chute and you're still really high off the ground.
Yeah.
I'll probably be
I'll
shitting
be
myself
fucked
then.
with that, yeah.
Yeah, because you're so high.
I'll be thinking about the landing, like where am I going to land? Like, how the fuck is it going to happen?
Yeah, there's so, do you know what it is though? I don't want to be one of them people where you die and you haven't done what you'd wanted to do.
Nah.
Like you regret shit that you didn't do. But that sort of shit I think is just stupid.
Right.
Oh mate. Oh sorry.
I had to, that's right.
Fuck's
Oh, mate, you do that so much
I'm
as well.
I'm dribbling now.
Every time you take a sip, there's like a little drop that goes in there. You don't go A&A meeting, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you still
It's
go?
all done on Zoom now, though.
Oh, it's all on Zoom,
Yeah, all
right.
done on
There's
Zoom.
like a group of you?
Yeah,
man.
everyone's in there. Someone will share, then it's like someone will come back and share.
Oh, wow. How are you dealing with things now? Are you like in a better position mentally, would you say?
I know what to do now. Do you know what I mean? I know what to do and what not to do now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still struggle bad, mate. Bad. Like, probably now more than ever because of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if I've said this already, but I have to be driven by something. I need something to go after.
Yeah.
And when you like, even if it's just little things like go on holiday, if you want, if I want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that you can't do anything and it's not your control.
That's the thing, and everyone's in this position as well.
That's the thing as well. You got to think that you're not the only one going through this.
No, that's it.
Like I speak to my mate quite a lot about this, and I was saying that I'm struggling because it's like I feel lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. It's not a nice feeling to have.
So you haven't had anything since the lockdown?
What, alcohol?
Alcohol and...
I stopped in July last year, so I was in the midst of that mad summer.
Right.
And again, without going into too much detail, a similar thing happened where I like blacked out and it went really, really bad. And that again for me, I was like, I ain't doing this no more because
this is going to be for life then.
Yeah, done.
Hopefully.
I can't do it, mate. Like I would love the thought of going out having a nice red wine with a steak and whatever.
Yeah.
Just and then coming home and chilling. But it's just never been like that for me. And there's no point trying to lie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm going out and having a glass of red, I'm finishing the bottle. Wow. Then we're going, and then I'm going to have something
you really
else.
have no self-control in that then?
It's not self-control.
No.
So it's alcoholics, right? Is two forms of it. It's the obsession of the mind.
Yeah.
When you start thinking again, that when I talk about stuff like I get obsessed by it, I go all in. It's the same with alcohol. When you first think of it, is when your brain starts kicking in. It says the obsession's on you. It's like, I want it, and you can't get that out of your head. And then the addiction kicks in when you sip it. Because our bodies react different. This is actually from the Joe and Charlie book.
Right.
Like our bodies chemically react different. So like when you drink alcohol, or someone who's not an alcoholic drink alcohol, it gets flushed out very quickly.
Yeah.
Addicts and alcoholics, it stays in the system longer. So it's not weed out or anything like that. It's weird. Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah. Like I didn't when I it's called Doctor's Opinion.
And you read that up? Up about
it's Joe and Charlie, so it's a part of AA.
Oh,
so
right,
they're basically two addicts that take you through the 12 steps, but just how they perceive it, not how the book perceives it. And a lot of people do that instead of the book.
That's mental. It's crazy how your body's just like, what makes you happy, or what it thinks it makes you happy, it keeps you inside. Oh, that's nuts.
I again, like I'm not a scientist, but that's what they say. Do you know what I mean? And I know damn well that's what's the same with me. Like I don't understand people that go and have a beer for dinner and then come home. Once I have a beer, it's on.
You're on it.
Yeah, the game's on. Like they say, like normal people go and have a glass of wine and then go to bed. Like for me, any form of alcohol, it's like a drinking an energy shot 10 times.
Wow.
And then it just spirals out of control. Then you just go down the other route.
Would you say you crave it now?
No,
not at all.
Not at all. Now, like I've never been. This is the thing, right? I've never been obsession of the mind where it's on me. I've never been like that.
Okay.
I'm the one where it's everything's normal, or I have an impulsive thought, and then I act on that thought, and then before you know it, I'm banging in trouble.
Right.
Like I've always been like that, really impulsive. Okay. Like I don't think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and then after I'm like, shit, shouldn't have done that, or that was really good.
Yeah.
Never think about anything, like what I'm gonna do, like in that minute, and that's what really messes you up because, like for me, I'm not going out drinking. I'm not going to go out and drink tonight. I remember what it was like. One thought of that switch, and before you know it, you're in the Tesco's, you've grabbed your beers, and all of a sudden you're in it then. You ain't getting out then.
Mate,
it's mad, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
crap.
And it's like, as soon as you can't get out. Like, people go and have a glass of wine and go to bed or whatever. It's mad, mate. It's a weird feeling.
So would you say it's the alcohol as well? Like, what if there's like, someone gives you a drink and you didn't know there's a bit of alcohol in it? Would that trigger it? Or
probably
you need to know it's alcohol.
Yeah, do you know that's a good point. You know, I've never thought of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's like mentally, like what if you give?
It's weird because like I remember trying going to non-alcoholic beer, but I felt drunk. I remember being in Dubai and I was in a bar with my mate and like a couple of mates from around here, and I was drinking non-alcoholic I think they were non-alcoholic anyway. I hope they weren't like a language barrier or something. I was just lagging instead. But yeah, I remember just drinking like non-alcoholic things, and I remember getting in the cab thinking like, I feel drunk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know, it could be like all in your head. But my brain, I don't know, my brain must, whether it's like
the taste
or whatever, but I felt drunk.
Whoa.
Weird, yeah.
That is weird.
Really weird. And it's like, it's what I just said now about the CBD.
Yeah.
Like my brain's now going...
So what made you stop weed then? I mean, obviously CBD, like a lot of people listening don't know about it. CBD is different to just weed, because a lot of people say, why don't you just smoke weed? Because weed has the THC in it.
Yeah.
It's what gives you the high, whereas CBD is the thing that gives you the anti-inflammatory and all the just good stuff, I guess.
It's not the illegal part.
No, not the illegal part. So
Yeah.
how comes you stop weed as well?
Probably a better question would be, how did I start? Why did I start?
Right, okay.
Because I was like, weed for me was... I remember in sales, right? They said to me, you can do any drug in this industry and be successful, just don't smoke weed.
Yeah, that slows you down.
Yeah, because it slows you down. And I don't know, I started it because of my illness, and it's... it helps with pain, as you said, anti-inflammatory, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously the pain I was in, I gave up. I was sober at this point as well. And laying in your own pain for so long, I just thought, you know what, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing this for my health reasons. And I remember, I got a funny story about it, actually. I started by taking cannabis oil.
Oh, right.
Actual THC oil, right? And the guy, when he gave it to me, said, just do one drop, and that is more than enough.
Yeah.
So it was in a tincture. You know,
yeah,
this thing you squeeze.
yeah.
So I thought one drop was the whole tincture.
Right.
But he literally meant one
Little
squeeze.
droplet.
So it was a droplet.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise. So I just done that, whatever.
And CBD, yeah?
No, THC.
Oh, THC.
Strong,
right.
like proper strong cannabis. Yeah. And I done it. And I remember laying in bed and I was watching telly and I thought, God, this bed feels a bit unreal.
Oh.
And I was like, wait a minute. Like, what's going on here? Then I could hear my dog running up and down the hallway. And then I opened the door, I was like, Ralph, what are you doing? And he's like fast asleep in his bed.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh no, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to start tripping out. You know that horrible feeling
I hate that.
when you know where you're
that.
going. This ain't going to stop for a few hours. It's horrible.
Confirm it, mate.
Yeah, and I remember sitting down and I was like trying to talk to my dog and I was like, Ralph, just do something so I know this is real. Trying to stay in the room. Then I start panicking because I'm like, I don't want to feel like this, and I started having panic attacks,
and you start
sweating.
thinking, what is this? What if this isn't that?
Yeah. It's horrible. And then I rang my mum. I called my mum. It was like, I need mum. You need to come round and just basically make sure I don't die.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how I felt.
Fuck.
Yeah, and she come round and basically just slept the whole night with me on the sofa whilst I just lay there and tripped out.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, no, she's like, but that's my mum, mate.
Yeah,
She'll ride for
yeah,
me. Do you know what I mean? She'll do anything. Getting into it was because of the pain and that stuff. But again, the addiction kicks in. So it's not, you're now having it in the morning, you're now having it in the afternoon. You're just now doing it more than you should be.
And was you like high as in where you couldn't control yourself? Like you just sleepy or
No,
was you normal?
I was just hallucinating all day.
Really?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just weird, mate.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, when I think back to it, it's just a weird time in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, again, with that, and then it went from the oil to the actual weed. Then there was like, instead of just normal weed, I was buying like, like what's the like the imported stuff, proper like from the pharmacies and that.
Oh, right, yeah, the proper stuff.
Yeah, like well expensive. We're
Yeah,
like, who does that? And then I remember just going in all in on that. It started off one joint at a night, then it was two, then it was in the morning.
Whoa.
And that was horrible for me. That was when the probably lowest I've been where I felt depressed.
Right. See, that's crazy compared to the episode I had with Andre, who you've heard, saying that weed doesn't cause any sort of...
Mate, I saw that.
Yeah.
Trust me, for someone like me who's an addict...
I mean, I smoke weed and stuff, but I've never... I tell people, if you can handle it and you know how to use it well, then do it.
Yeah,
but if you just like... If your body doesn't agree with you... Because everyone's body's different. Like you were saying, like alcohol will be different to me compared to you.
Yeah.
Same with drugs. Like I don't really believe that weed is good for everyone. There is that limit where some people, maybe who has the addiction personality, is not really good for.
I can find anything to not be good for me. Like
Yeah.
I can just, like, I just go all in on just so dumb shit like chocolate. As I said, I know it's not good for me, but I'm just, do you know what I mean? And it's the same with box sets as well. Like box sets, when I start something, I finish it within about 48 hours. Yeah, but this is when I just started trading. So at the time, it was kind of, you could start, because I don't trade until 2:30, the US Open.
Oh, mate, you have a nice bit of kit, don't you?
Yeah, so you just chill out,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean, and then do your thing. But that's what trading is.
Yeah,
Like, trading is so, it can be so chilled, laid back. People ask me to do, like, on YouTube, story of do a day in your life. It's like, mate, I'd lose subscribers.
What is it?
It's so boring. Yeah, I get up, I have my breakfast,
Yeah.
I drive around to my mum's, chill out, maybe trade, come home and go to bed.
Goal setting and everything, which what actually motivated me to. I feel like where I am now is because of what I'll say you taught me.
Yeah.
I'm just being in that environment of just setting a goal, stick to it. Obviously, there's some people just kind of go off the rails, but I feel like that environment that I was in, that's always kind of brought me to where I am. I've had a vision in my head. I've kind of tried to stick to it. I still haven't reached it. There's still so many different goals I'm taking, but every goal that I set myself,
What are your goals at the minute?
At the minute, a good question actually. At the minute, man, considering all the shit that's happened to me now, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh, really?
I feel like because of all the recent stuff that's happened, just like suddenly as well, out of nowhere, losing a job, losing a partner, everything. Even like I had some family issues and stuff. I just feel like a lot has happened, so I'm just still like figuring myself out. But my next goal is probably want to invest in some stuff, in some solid stuff that I know that will be making me money. As I put money in. I think I looked at some of your stuff with the latest video actually. That got me thinking into just instead of putting my money in savings, put it somewhere that I could be actually investing and it'll be working for me.
Yeah, that's the idea behind money.
Like I think one example I saw in a video, I can't remember whose video it was. Like back in the day, Freddo, wherever the little chocolate thing was like what 5p, and now it's like.
Mate, I think they're like 55p now.
That's
disgusting.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Prices are always like things are always increasing, and if you just put your money in a savings account, it's what 1% or even if that.
So it's usually the savings are less than inflation.
Yeah.
So your money's losing value more than it's gaining.
More than it's gaining, yeah.
It's just like it's kind of backwards.
That's it. That's why I'd rather invest in something good, and that's what watching editing your videos has taught me. Yeah, I just want to be more smart with my money, more have a better plan because now I'm actually on my own. Whereas the past 7 years, I've pictured myself with her doing this, doing that, but now I'm always all on my own. But I feel more freedom. I feel happy, excited actually. If anything.
Do you? What was it like when you broke up with her? Because I remember this was only recent, right?
Yeah, recently. Yeah, I mean, at the time it was before I found out the main reasoning. At the time I was a bit like shit. Like this all happened. I wasn't really annoyed at her or anything. It was just a mutual decision.
Was you expecting? Oh no, because you didn't know at this point, right? You didn't.
Kind of did, and I went counselling to kind of fix whatever the issue was with me and the ex. And
you went at couples counselling?
Not even couples, no, it's just me. I was just talking to my counsellor at the time.
Yeah.
And we just decided, let's just go our own ways. We both want different things. It's not going to work out. And I was quite gutted because obviously the plan and everything I had for the future was with her and it was a different path. But now I'm more excited the fact that, and weird, I don't want to blame her for this. My panic attacks has decreased.
Really?
Yeah, just because now I have a better vision of where my life is heading at, which I still don't know, but I'm in more control of it. I don't have to worry about anyone else. So I've got less, I'll say 0 panic attacks since the breakup. Yeah.
Little things like that you don't realise.
You don't realise until something happens.
I barely get migraines anymore. Like without saying it's her fault, but because it's stress, not so much her. It's like the stress of everything.
Just worrying about someone else.
That's it. Yeah, it's another person. Like you barely worry. You worry about myself, let alone fucking someone else. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't might even be doing anything, and your brain's going into overdrive already. And they might be just laying indoors.
Literally, you know I'm thinking about 10, 15 years in the future. Like, what am I doing with her? Yeah.
I always do that though. Like if I enter saying, I know where the end goal is.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a relationship. I'm not going into a relationship now unless you're going to be my baby mum.
That's it.
Like that, I ain't wasting my time.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you on that one. And I think that's what I'm excited about. I'm more excited the fact that I'm more in control of everything now. Even if I did just quit my job and get into something that I really want to get into, I'm still happy with that just because I don't have to worry about her. I feel like if I have a kid, even though as much as I want a kid, that would even ruin me even more mentally. Not ruin me, but I think it might even wake me up, or it might put me in, all right, shit, I need to focus on all my life and everything on this kid. Where I'm glad I'm not in that position. I just need to sort myself out.
So when do you think is going to be the right time?
Fuck knows, man. I think I don't want to pressure myself. That's the thing I was going wrong with.
Yeah, same.
Before, I just always pressure myself. If I don't see, if it's going to a place where I don't want it to be in my head, I start panicking. I don't like this. instead of just kind of enjoying where it's going.
And
that's where it went wrong with me and the ex, and even just with my life. Like, if I don't like a job, I leave it straight away, and I feel like it's shit.
You ain't got time for that.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, time's ticking. I'm getting older. I don't want to stay somewhere unhappy. Like, that was so random. I mean, I'll talk about it now, actually, because obviously to promote my stuff, I mean, I put it on Reddit and stuff like that, and I don't know who it was. I'm still trying to figure out which channel it was so I could put more videos on there. Someone put it on some advertising site, and they started seeing it on like all the guys. I think I mentioned it on a few episodes, but all any new viewers, listeners, one of my videos was on like a few pornos. So when you go on it and you have to like watch it for like 10-15 seconds and you have to click on skip video. It was on that, so people were seeing my face and stuff, whatever I was chatting about, and I got a lot of subscribers from that, and thousands of views.
Weren't it Pornhub though? It weren't like it weren't just some random.
No, it was like some big one. That's why I got so many. Like,
you imagine just seeing your face pop up.
Yeah,
like, people, imagine I saw it once like, randomly. I'm just looking like, wait, what?
I don't know if it's on there now, but I mean, I've still got loads of people that's just like...
That's got 34,000 views, isn't it?
That one video, yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you see that.
Like, what the hell?
Shit video as well. I was just like, fuck, out of all the videos,
that
that was the one. But still, I get quite a lot of people from that, and people message me saying, oh, mate, I come across your video. It wouldn't tell me where. And I was just like, yeah.
I'm just about to have a wank, and your face popped up. Just letting you know,
started speaking about stuff that I related to. I was like, whatever, man. It's nice.
Some random followers.
On YouTube, you can see where like the source is coming from. That's it, but it's still growing though. Like, I'm still getting a lot of people messaging me, mostly about mental health, just how open I am. But I did want to do one thing, and I think I mentioned it on Andre's episode. Do a stand-up show.
Yeah, stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I think that would be a sick, like...
Can you just, like, with stand-up comedy, can you just go and, like, apply?
There's some open mics and stuff that you can
really?
do. They say it's the hardest thing to, like, do. Yeah. I'd love to show people that I could just do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm working on some material, but, like, I think... I'll give it a go one day.
Where did you get the inspiration from? Just like random day-to-day thing?
People, like, I listen to like Joe Rogan, and just few people like that. I listen to loads of comedians and like.
Is he a comedian, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Is he really?
I mean, he started off with obviously the UFC stuff.
Yeah.
But then he's like side hustle thing is the podcast and like comedy shows and stuff.
It's mad how big he's got.
Oh mate, it's huge.
And didn't he get $100 million or something like that?
Something like that. Spotify bought him. Like, yeah. Always been like someone that's so reserved and stuff. Like how do you find people now like reaching out to you, asking you questions? I don't even hating on you. Like you got a bunch of haters you showed me.
Yeah. Don't know. Like when I first started, it was a little bit cringe. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look at my personal Instagram when I had it, compared to I said this to you, didn't I? About the comparison in people that sometimes you have to portray. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's what people want. They want to see that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite a shallow world that we live in. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all people want to see, and at the end of the day, that doesn't determine your success. I think your results more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are hesitant, with this game, because there's so many people out there that put on a fake lifestyle and all this stuff, and obviously that's what stops people from like buying into you when your course or whatever else, because they think you're one of them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I try and go above and beyond for all of my students. You know what I mean? I do Q&As with them. I do mentoring, like one-to-ones. I'm trying to go above and beyond to make sure that they know I'm not one of them people. Do you know what I mean?
Like you get people just saying, "Oh, come talk to me. Look at my life." Blah blah. Where you're completely honest with what's happening, what you struggle with.
Yeah.
Which I like about your videos. Whereas a lot of traders don't really do that. Or YouTube traders, whatever they.
Or anyone. Really.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah.
But do you know what it is? Again, because I spent so long covering all that up.
Yeah.
You just kind of when you go into them rooms, you just kind of let it all out. Do you know what I mean? And I'm more comfortable now talking to someone about this than I am trying to pretend that I'm not. If that makes sense. Course, having a conversation with someone and pretending everything's okay is quite draining. But it's a lot more liberating and chilling, if that makes sense, to talk about how you're actually feeling.
Of course,
do you know what I mean? Like it takes more energy to hide everything because you're playing a game, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I never used to be like it's mad how much it's changed.
So weird. Yeah. Honestly, seeing you like this is quite inspiring actually, because like I don't know, like you said, just growing up as like a naughty kid, and just nice to see where you come out of now, like how much you've developed as a person, and it's only growing. Like we're still trying to figure our minds out anyway and how we could control them.
Do you know what it is? I think a lot of guys want to do it.
Yeah.
like, it sounds really weird, but like a lot of people want to talk about it, but they're just not comfortable doing it because they're worried about being judged.
That's it.
And stuff like that. Like, that's when we said this conversation. We've been talking about this all week. Like, where should we go with this podcast? And I was like, go wherever, mate. Let's go all in because like it's your life. Do you know what I mean?
And you feel so good about just talking about it, letting it all out, 100%.
People sit here and judging you at the minute. You just think, do you know what I mean?
Whatever,
you're the problem here, like no one else. You know, we're just having an open conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's strange, mate. And yeah, the hate, like,
You get some weirdos, man.
like it's not even that. It's like these people don't like me with a vengeance.
No reason.
Yeah, like I've never done anything to them. If they actually bought my products and was in the community, they know that I'm not a scammer.
Yeah.
Like, mate, people go like.
He showed me some the other day, and this guy's probably gonna come for me now. But like,
yeah. Like, it's just strange, mate. Like, people actually generally hate on
like
you.
the hate. He was literally trying to do anything he can to just put you down.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Before I even got started, like I've got 2.5, nearly 3,000 followers. Subscribers, and only like 1,800, 1,900 followers.
Yeah.
And I'm already getting this hate. Like, can you imagine what it'd be like if it was in 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers or whatever?
Man. That's probably what KSI and all them not doing.
Mate, we know, because I appreciate it now a lot more because I know what the sort of thing that goes on. They must be hard as nails, like emotionally.
It seems like it kind of bothers you as well, that the hate.
Really does, mate.
Yeah.
Really
Same
does.
here, and it winds me up. I shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Because we're doing this for a reason, and we're gonna get hate regardless of what we do. We shouldn't let that get to us.
I watch videos like I watch Grant Cardone, like how to deal with hate.
I was a solid guy, yeah.
Like literally, like anything that negative and stuff. Like, he's bulletproof. Do you know what I mean? And I sent that thing to you yesterday, didn't I? By one of his books.
Yeah.
Like, haters will be your biggest fans. Do you know what I mean?
It's
And
true.
they will publicise you more than you publicise yourself.
Yeah, literally. Like, I think it's been about a few months now. I've really like to grow like into liking my haters. Anytime I get a dislike, I'm like, come on, give me more. Like, I just want to feed from it. Like, want to do more.
It's weird because like I know there's follow, like when I do these Instagram stories, I know there's someone in there that's one of them dislikers. You know what I mean? Or they're hating. Like, I get weird DMs like, this geezer threatening to take me to court.
For nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I even know who you are? I didn't reply. I just blocked him. I get weird messages, man. Really weird messages. But in the same respect, my I was about to say my fans, then that's a bit cringe. My students are like loyal.
Oh, your fans, man.
Yeah, they're like loyal to the bone. Do you know what I mean? But I see this in a book yesterday. It's like if you physically are able to change someone's life financially, by helping them and assisting them, they'll be loyal to the bone. 100%. Do you know what I mean? And if you're putting if you're putting food on their family table from what they've learned through you, they will be loyal to the bone.
Literally.
Like, if you want someone to be loyal, make them money. And as soon as you stop doing that, the loyalty will go. But and that's what I mean. Like that's what it is with my community. Like that, when anyone tries to hate anything, they go in. Do you know what I mean? They've got my back in it.
You've always been like that, though. I mean, even just when we worked in sales, like, you just always supported everyone.
Yeah, sick. Massively. Like,
so good.
That's why, like, why can you hate someone so? Like, never done anything to you. Like, where does that hate come from?
It's just jealousy, isn't it? It's just they want something that you have.
But I do struggle with this, you know, and I get a lot more. The amount of compliments I get about changing their lives. I had some nice ones over Christmas, because of you, like your teachings and that, I was able to give my kids the best Christmas ever.
That's beautiful.
When I was reading it, I was like, that's really nice.
Yeah.
But then, like, if I read a hate comment, I'm like,
that gets you more. Yeah.
I'm stewing, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it because we're young? Probably. I don't know.
I think it's still the insecurity stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
Like, you're so worried about being good that as soon as someone says something bad, you start thinking everyone else is going to think that.
Yeah.
And then you feel like, should I just reply to this person just so everyone can see? Stuff like that. But it's like, you can't rise to it, man.
You can't.
Like, there are some seriously weird people out there that just want to see you fail.
All the time, yeah.
And I don't get it. Like, I couldn't have that kind of hate for a man that's never done anything.
He's never done anything. That's it.
Like, how does that work?
You get that from people, and it just winds me up. I just don't understand, like, the thought process of, like, just the standard hate. Like, someone just messaging you. What he actually went out of his way to write up an email, anything, just to, like, show.
Mate, I've had a hate email at midnight.
Yeah, that's mental.
I see the thing. He was like, "Can I buy your course or whatever?" I replied. Then he said some dumb thing back, like, what? I was replying, it's like, mate, it's midnight. Go to bed. Like, what's wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? Like, why am I your last thought before you go to bed?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, how weird are some people out there?
You're gonna get that. You're literally gonna get that all the time now.
I know, but
the more you grow, the more you get that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I really struggled with it at the start. It's alright. I'm alright with it now. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's part of the game because I've had so much of it already.
Yeah, you just
and I've been on social media for about 3-4 months. I'm
Yeah.
kind of just over it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but at the start, I was really struggling with it. Like I've got a mentor who I learnt from, and he was like, mate, it's exactly the game. Do you know what I mean? Just you got to laugh it off. But he's like, I've had it.
That's what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird behaviour, mate. Like, because you don't see that side of social media, really.
No, not
like,
at all.
I'm not someone who gets hated on. Do you know what I mean? Like publicly, like for the big people, it must be like horrible.
Horrible. Yeah.
Like you can understand how
That's why
they
there's
lose
so
a
many suicides.
Yeah,
It's like,
massively,
yeah,
man.
horrible.
Like it affects me to the point where I've got a couple of random people telling me they hate me and they're going to take me to court and. Like what?
Yeah,
I haven't even done anything.
Yeah.
What for? Compared to like go kill yourself, or like all that shit, that must really affect people.
Proper, yeah.
Like, proper. And I can understand why they go. Like I used to be like, oh, what is it? It's like just fuck off. They don't know when it's the
I
way.
mean, there's so many people just on you.
Yeah.
Especially if there's some bad press and then you get the majority on you instead of the more fans.
Imagine if it's fake news.
Yeah.
But like people don't realise the effect that it has on people.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
True,
And,
man.
like I might come across it like it doesn't affect me, but it does.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm not saying I'm going to kill myself, but it
No.
don't make you feel good. Do you know what I mean? And why would you ever want to make someone feel like that?
I think how we are and how our mind frames work, like we keep ourselves busy, we read books, we develop our minds. I feel like that's helped us a lot compared to majority of the people. There's a lot of stuff that I've learned that I never knew about myself just from reading or just listening to podcasts. I feel like a lot of people can actually, even from this, I bet you'll get so many people listening to this and think, fuck me, like I'll never have thought people like these would go through any of that.
Yeah.
But we've got questions that'll probably bring us onto that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just get them out. We kind of discussed it anyway, but like, what motivates you?
What motivates me? Like the fear of not having anything.
Yeah.
Like the crack of the whip, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I know what it's like to have nothing.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And that kind of really motivates me. Yeah, like I don't want to have nothing because I've been there. Do you know
Are you
what I mean?
afraid that will ever happen one day?
No, I know it won't.
Yeah.
But I've been there and I know the feeling what it's like, so I'll make sure I'm never there.
Nice.
But now it's like I'm obsessed by it. I've got a monetary figure that I want to have in 3 years. And I know that's how much it's going to pay me in passive income from the investments and
Right.
stuff like that. But I just obsessed by it. Like when it's a good thing, right? Because this is a good obsession. You're channeling it in the right direction.
Yeah.
And like if I have to earn, let's say 10 grand in a month, I will break it down into like daily amounts that I need and how much I need to like make by the hour and mad shit. Like I go really, really deep with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't just say I want to earn 10 grand this month and that's it. Do you know what I mean? I have a plan, and every other couple of days I'm looking back on the plan, checking like how far am I up to it. Like have I got how much more do I need to do by the end of the week? Like I just go weirdly over the top of it.
That's so good though, man.
But yeah, it's good. Like it's an obsession. It's a good obsession. But sometimes when you're trying to sleep at night,
I was going to say, don't overdo yourself.
yeah. But again, like that's the famous last
Do you
words.
give yourself a day where you don't do anything and you just try to relax? Do you give yourself days off?
On a
basically?
Sunday, yeah, for like a couple of hours.
Couple of hours,
Yeah,
mate.
like I
Not
don't.
even a day.
It's weird, like, but you know what it is? I don't really see it as work now,
Right?
Because I just enjoy doing it so much.
Do you actually?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like, do you know what? It's mad. When I first bringing on the students and that, I thought I'd only get like 50, and then I finished like an Instagram live, and then within 24 hours of me giving my email, I had like 276 people trying to sign up.
Yeah.
And that was overwhelming. Like I really started panicking and thinking, this is real. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, at the end of the day, these people are coming to you for advice to try and change their life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a big pressure.
And the fact that you've already shown that it's changing their lives, that's why they're coming to you for more.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be.
But it's a big weight to have on your shoulders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I didn't realise like how much of a stress it could be, but I do really enjoy it. Like I really do enjoy it, and we're growing so fast, and it's a good community that I've got. Like everyone looks after each other. I won't have no egos in there. Do you know what I mean? It's just everyone's on a level playing field.
So good, man.
Yeah, and everyone's just after the same thing.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And although I'm like class as a mentor to them, I'm always like just making sure everyone's good. Do you know what I mean? I want everyone to be trading at the same standard. We're all trading that. I don't want to leave anyone behind and stuff like that.
So good, man.
Yeah.
And that's the mind frame they'll have as well. So when they're growing, they could do that to other people, which is great.
Yeah.
That's what you want. All right, sweet. I mean, I've already answered my stuff on Instagram, but I think for me, it's just things that motivates me more is the fact that I've got a little baby sister that I want to, you know, show off and like show her that I'm the guy. You know, I'm doing well. I'm her big brother. You should always come to me for anything. But also, I told Pete, I wrote that random people just doing well in life, just people that even just seeing you, like when I edit your stuff, when I see you doing well, you know, you buying new watches and stuff like that, I'm like, fuck, that's so cool. Like I love it. I love seeing my mates do well, and I always like push them to do well.
Do you feel like this returned?
I feel like I give a lot more love than what I get back, and it's fine. That's just how I am. I always like when I have a friend.
Do you get disheartened by it?
Nah, not really. Nah, maybe one.
Like you want to expect more from them back.
Nah, I used to, but now I have no expectations. That when I do get something from them, I'm just like, fucking hell, sick. Like I really appreciate it. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. That you know, you got to show me the same love I'm giving you. I'm just like that. I just show people respect, and if they're a good person, if they're doing well and they're nice to me, there's no reason for me to like hate on them or you know just be awkward with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I see other people doing well, that motivates me. It makes me want to do well, especially with the friends. Any of my friends doing well makes me want to do well. So without them, like if I'm hanging with the wrong crowd of people, I might be in a different direction.
Yeah.
So I'm quite thankful for where I am and how I think and stuff. All right, next question. So I haven't saved down who asked me this. I was pretty much print screened it. So it's ideal life ?
Living on my passive income.
Yeah.
For me, that's all I care about at the minute, and that is all Grant Cardone. Like that, I know I said it a few times, but that geezer has fully changed my life.
Really?
Yeah, like the amount of stuff that I've learned from him.
Yeah,
I wish I knew this years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like money management, what to do, how to invest money, like how to live your life, everything. Like I literally every hour of the day, I'm probably watching that guy, especially now we're in lockdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, living on my passive income. So like, if your earnings. My main goal this year is to have my passive income covering my expenses. That's my first goal for this year. And then next year will be like double that. Yeah. Double that. But keep your expenses fairly same. Like, because you just imagine, like, you're earning, say, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever a month.
Not even
passive income.
Literally.
And you're not having to do anything.
That'd be a dream, man.
You could just literally go, so you know, like, I'm going on holiday for 6 months.
Yeah. I'm away.
Gone. And you ain't got to worry about nothing.
Literally, your bank balance will still keep increasing.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
It's a mad old like situation to be in, isn't it? And that's what all these super rich do. Do you know what I mean? Like, his passive income, he was doing this thing, like, it's like $2 million a month. Passive.
Hey, imagine that.
Like, he's not even working.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's getting paid £2 million.
Fuck, man. I need to...
That's the aim, mate. And it's only been like the last 6 to 12 months I've known that.
Right.
Which is annoying.
Yeah. So if
like, I was the sort of person that earned loads of money and spent loads of money because I was confident in my ability to earn it back the next month.
That's always been the case with you as well. Yeah.
Like, if I made 20 grand, I'd spend 20 grand.
Yeah, because you know you'll get that back.
That is just not a life.
Imagine if you saved like $6 grand on like instead of buying the shoes.
Yeah,
anything
like mate. If it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, it's
how much more money I'd have. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the environment you was in, and you just live and learn, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Life experiences probably taught me the most.
Like, you're still early 20s, man. Like, you still found out at a good time, and you're doing the right thing at the right time. So,
but again, it's that unhappy feeling.
Yeah,
it's
unhappy
like,
feeling.
I wish I knew this 5 years ago.
That's the thing.
And you start kicking yourself, but you're like, mate, do you know
we're
what I
doing
mean?
it now. Just stop.
Yeah,
I do that all the time, and that's what I'm trying to battle myself. Just be happy with what you're doing.
It's difficult, though.
Even people tell you should be happy, but you just listen and you just you're still not.
Yeah. But that's what I worry about. Like, what will make me happy?
That's the problem.
I was having this conversation literally 48 hours ago with someone on voice note.
Me?
Someone
else.
No, this was the bird I'm talking to at the minute.
Oh, right, yeah.
I couldn't remember the last time I felt really, really happy and what I was doing.
No.
Can you think like when you were sitting and you thought, I'm actually really happy right now?
I've never had. I'll say I've never had that. I've
Really?
never had that. Yeah. Even as a kid, I don't think I ever had that.
Like you thought, you know what? I feel good.
Comfortable. No, I've never ever. I would say I've never had that.
Like not so much like comfortable in your surroundings,
No,
but just
but
like,
like,
I'm having a good time.
Good time. I mean, no.
Apart from like on a night out or whatever.
In a weird way, I feel like in the back of my head, there's a worry there. I'll be having a good time, but I know I'm still worrying about that.
Yeah.
And it's always there, and I can't get rid of it. And that's why I'm going counselling.
Just sat there and thought, you know, I'm really happy.
No, I promise you, I don't think I ever have.
Really?
I feel like I'll tell you if there was a day where I'm just like even like just my sister being born, you'd think that's been the happiest thing. I've never, I've grown up as an only kid, and 20 years later, my mum decides to, get one out. I'll still, like, back of my head, all I'm thinking about is, shit, is she going to be alright with my mum? Like, is my mum going to be able to look after her? She hardly looks after me, like, bless her.
Yeah.
That's all I'm always worrying about. Like, I'm never appreciating what I'm having.
You try and nick the negatives from everything.
That, and also preparing for the negative. So, like, alright, I've got a new car now. Shit, I'm going to crash one day. What if that happens? I've got money to back that up. Like, I'm always worrying about something good that's happening in my life,
Yeah. So anything good could be happening, but you're trying to find the negative.
Or just some sort of, like, to calm myself down, I'd think, all right, what if something bad happening? So let's say I bought a PS5. I've been dying to get a PS5. I'll be thinking about, I need to keep it in a nice ventilated place because it might overheat. Like little things like that. I'm just worried.
Just in case it died.
Yeah.
Did you get a PS5 in the end?
No, man, I've got a PS4 still. It's winding me up.
Oh,
you
really?
got a PS5,
Yeah. I asked you to get it, and then I had it before you.
Oh, mate, I don't know how you did that.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? Funny enough, it's one of the students.
Really?
Yeah, I think they got a disc. They got a disc version and a digital one.
Oh, mate, ask them.
Yeah, I was speaking to them.
Yeah, I've got the money. I just can't get one.
Like again, when I bought it, I was like, why have I bought this?
Was it?
I mean, I just knew I was going to play it. Like,
funny, I was actually. Let's talk about that actually. Yeah, because like stuff you buy to make yourself feel better, and you're still not happy.
Yeah.
Like I remember I had a Sirocco, which isn't. I mean, I love that car. I've always loved it since when I first started driving. I thought I'm getting a Sirocco, a VW, like a nice little sports car. It's not much, but it's just something I've always wanted. I bought it, and I was just like, oh, what's next? I want more.
Yeah.
I want another car.
Exactly what I said to you the other night.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be a moment where I feel down and I'll buy something to make myself feel better. But it's only to make myself feel better for 10 minutes.
Very temporary, yeah.
Yeah, very temporary. And I just can't get out of that mind frame.
That's what I said, like, the other day. Like, when I bought the watch, it was like, I was so happy. Got home, and it's probably very low point. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what next? Like, what now? Like, you start panicking, thinking, I've got nothing to aim for now.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by I'm scared of the crack of the whip. I'm worried about, do you know what I mean, if there's nothing to aim for, if I can't
imagine you get that passive income life that you wanted, you going to holidays when you want. What if you're still unhappy?
Like, you don't know.
You don't know.
What I mean?
That's the thing. When was your happiness then? When did you...
Mate, this is what I mean. I was struggling to think.
Yeah?
Like, do you know what it probably was for me? When I was generally happy, when I was really fit and healthy. And I was training and sparring in the gym and stuff like that. This was probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, you was doing MMA or something like that.
Yeah, that was probably one of my happiest when I think about it.
Really?
Like, that's years ago. Do you know what I mean? And that was just something that I enjoy doing. Do you know? It's really weird that you enjoy fighting someone, getting punched in the head. Fighting is different, like in boxing. But yeah, it's just a weird old sport. But that's probably the happiest I've been.
It's a weird therapeutic thing, isn't it? Because I mean, I've only recently started getting into boxing. Just the feeling of just being in the ring and just punching something. I think as a guy, I don't even know if it's a masculine thing or what it is. I don't know if it's like a old age. I don't know what it is. But I feel great. It's so therapeutic. You get all the aggression out and you go home feeling great.
Yeah, it's like a stress buster, isn't it?
Would you still carry on doing that if things were like that?
At the minute, like my health is like I can barely run up the stairs without getting out of breath. I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot better. Like my weight's coming back to normal.
It's because of what's happened, like the whole...
Yeah.
Fuck,
it's just been hard, mate. It's not a nice... Do you know what I mean? It's like... You want to do so much, but your body's... Like, that's a horrible feeling. Your brain wants to do so much, but your body can't keep up.
Is that like fuck for life, you reckon?
Yeah, it is. It's terminal.
Fuck.
No, yeah. So it's go through phases and stuff like that. And that's what I worry about as well. Do you know what I mean? Like... I want to live this big fulfilling life, but is my body going to let me do that?
Wow.
And it's not a nice feeling, do you know what I mean?
Only because of how you were when you was younger.
Yeah, I'd love to be training every day, going around, but the reality is I can't because I'm in big trouble, do you know what I mean?
Can you, like, once you start eating better, feel better to you?
Yeah, but it's just getting over that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's horrible, mate. It's not nice. It's But yeah, it's just like I always think like where would I if I'm doing this well, running at 60-70%. Imagine what I'd be like if I was 100%.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I always think that. And I know I can get back to it. I know I can. Like when I think back to my happies, it was like getting up in the morning, having a nice chocolate shake that I could have without making myself feel sick. Getting up, going taekwondo.
Oh, mate.
Random. I started doing one-to-ones with taekwondo.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I got to like green or blue belt or something. So the next one was red, then it was brown, then it was black. Right. So I got really quite good at it. Again, but I went all in. I was having like 4 one-to-ones a week.
Yeah.
Because what my plan was to fight in MMA. Have a cage fight.
Yeah.
So I was doing taekwondo for kicks.
Dream,
instead of just doing MMA, I decided to do taekwondo for kicks, MMA as well, boxing and judo.
Once you get that perfect
and jiu-jitsu. I done all of them, like surprisingly all in. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't just do MMA.
That's like memory, man. All the movements and everything. That's good for you.
You're like, do you know judo is so sick, man?
Yeah.
Like Japanese jiu-jitsu I was doing.
Right.
So it's all like locks and how to bend it up fucking arms the right way, and you can literally just control someone by someone's wrist or someone's finger. Like some of this master or teacher I had was just a normal geezer.
Yeah.
But if you had a fight with him, you were in trouble.
Really?
Like he knew all the spots in your body that would just shut you out.
Fuck.
Like he knew where to snap your spine at a certain point.
Yeah.
He's a brutal sport.
Holy shit.
It was designed. Japanese jiu-jitsu was designed for samurais to fight bare fist when you lose your swords, and they've got armor on, so you have to find the limbs. So you couldn't punch someone in the face because they've got armors, so you know the weak points, so your shoulders, your elbows.
Holy shit.
So they would just go for something and snap something, and it will like fucking stop their arm from working.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. That's why it's such a violent sport with the sport. But they get them down and they will just snap them quickly.
Shit,
because you can't fight someone in armour. You just have to.
That
is nasty.
Nice, mate. I'm conscious about time, but if this goes well, we've probably got to do a part 2, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But I want to ask some trading questions as well, because that's something. I mean, most of these questions that I've got asked, you've answered them in your videos anyway, so check his videos out. But there's a few just for like any of my new listeners or any listeners that wants to follow your stuff. So one of them was worst trading decisions you've ever made. One decision, yeah.
It was my mum's birthday, and it wasn't really a decision. It was just risk management,
right?
If that makes sense. It weren't like if you mean decision in terms of like what my worst trade was.
Yeah,
it was probably right at the start. I was just short GBP USD, and I didn't have a clue why. It was when Brexit was going on and all that.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest one I lost, but. Yeah, it was like...
How much would you...
It was like 2,500.
Fuck.
But that was right at the start. I only had like $5,000 account, yeah.
Right.
Or I might even had a $3,000 account.
That must have stressed you out.
It's horrible. Do you know what it is? Every day you're just watching your money to see it because it goes further and further away from where you want it to go. And you're like, do I cut in now? But it could come back.
How the fuck have you carried that on? That would have stopped me.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know, mate. Like, I've probably lost before I got profitable... 10 grand, maybe 15, but it was done over like different times.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, the worst decision is probably my mum's birthday, where I just lost so much money being a retard.
So just went out and just enjoyed your mum's birthday.
Yeah, literally, it was the worst birthday forever. I was so depressed.
Yeah. Another good question, actually, just for any new ones. What advice would you give to people that want to get into trading? Because I actually want to get into trading. What would you give me?
Like the advice I'd give you is you need to have a solid strategy. You know, like a lot of people just gamble and they don't really know what they're doing.
That's a lot of people say. They call trading gambling.
That's it's called spread betting in the UK, and you got CFDs, but it's called spread betting because people class it as gambling, and it's tax free because I think it's like 80 something maybe % of people lose money, so they've never bothered taxing it.
Right. Okay.
It's like the bookies. Imagine walking into a bookies and you're getting taxed on it.
For that.
That's where they see it. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah.
So. The question was best.
What advice would you give to people that want to get into trading?
It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think a lot of people get sold on thinking they're going to be millionaires overnight. It's solid strategy and risk management. Make sure that everything's in place and start small.
Yeah.
You know, people think because they've got more money in their account they're going to do better. It's not the case. If you can't turn £500 to 100,000, don't think you're going to be able to do 50 to 100. Right. Do you know what I mean? You need to start small and trust yourself. Once you know you can trust yourself, that's the biggest thing, because then you can grow it as big as you want to grow it.
So how much would you recommend someone starting?
£500.
Yeah.
I started with £500.
So I might do.
You can even go lower. I think with IG units you can go £250.
Right. Okay.
It's not about at the start. It's not about how much money you're making. It's actually about getting the percentage points.
Right.
Because if you can make 2% on £500, you can do that on 5,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and then that becomes 2% becomes £100. Do you know what I mean? So instead of just making a tenner,
Yeah.
you make £100 now. But you only need to scale up to that slowly. Do you know what I mean? You need to get comfortable getting uncomfortable because it's really uncomfortable trading.
Of course. Yeah.
Like it's real money. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And that's
exactly
why
that.
I say to people on demos, like go on demo for a week, 2 weeks, just to understand the basics. But just, I know so many people are good at demo trading, but terrible at real trading
Right.
because it's like emotion. They
Yeah,
can't get
yeah,
over the
yeah.
emotion. People just drive themselves
That's a good
mad.
point. Ever pulled out of a stock too early when it would have gone on to make you big bucks in the long run?
So many times.
Really?
Oh mate, so many times. Just recently, Churchill Corp. It's a company. It's like merging. I was in it at $19, and it's now like 52. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
shit.
like
Now it's 52.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's a lot, and I've done that so many times. The worst thing is like if I'd have just kept that, you start adding it up in your head. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so many times, mate.
What advice? All right. Is it easy to switch off from trading? Do you have to constantly be on it, like in case something goes the wrong way?
Yeah, so like there's two ways of doing it. If you're swing trading, you do need to be on it. Do you know what I mean? You need to be knowing what's going on. But I switch off from my day trading straight away. Do you know what I mean? I'll put my trade on at 2:30, which is the US Open.
Yeah.
Then after I'm done, 10 minutes, the computer's off, I'm in the other room. Do you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people go really wrong. Right. And where I went wrong for so long is that they think the longer that they're in it, the more they're going to make. And it's complete opposite. It's like a casino. You know, the longer you're there, the house always wins. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
So if you can get an edge where you're able to get in, get out, get the money and go, almost like a bank robbery, if you can do that, then just do that. Don't stay in it like too long. Because even if you think you're not going to put a trade on, it's like if you're in a barber shop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You're just in the environment, you're going to do it. And that's one of the biggest things I struggled with. Like I always used to just stare at the screen and just be obsessed by it. But until you get out of that mindset and you get a solid strategy where you can get in, get out, then you really don't need to be in it looking at it all the time.
You know, you putting money in that affect your life or?
No, that's another thing about risk management.
Right, okay.
So you need to only use a certain percentage of your account. So if you lose, you know you're going to lose X.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's probably 1 to 2% of my account balance that I'm risking.
And you know when to stop though, right?
Yeah. I've got that sorted. Like talking about addiction and knowing when to stop. Like I've managed somehow to get this one thing sorted out, and everything else I'm still shit at. Do you know what I mean? But like, do you know what it is? Because it's just money. Yeah. And you have to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to lose all your money.
In one of your videos, you were saying just pull the plug, just walk out of the room.
Yeah, you have to. So I used to switch the computer off from the mains. Yeah. To stop myself from going back in again.
Right. But no, your course, mate, it sounds banging. Like even just editing your video and just looking at the feedback people are saying. Anyone that's watching this, check his website out and just look at the feedback and everything he's getting. It's so good.
Oh, this is getting really weird and deep, but like you're never just sitting somewhere with a blank head. There's always some thought going on in your head.
You say that there's actually people out there that don't have an internal monologue.
Really?
Yeah, I've read that somewhere.
What? Where they don't talk to themselves?
There's no voices in, like, they don't talk to themselves.
What?
I'm always talking to myself.
Same.
Like,
Every second of the day.
Second, like,
as we're talking here and I'm still talking to myself.
I'm thinking, what am I saying next? Like,
yeah.
They don't have an internal monologue.
Mate, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Like, how can you not talk to yourself?
They must live a stress-free life.
Do you think?
I don't know, maybe. They must live a life where they just, whatever's happening, they just kind of go along with it.
That's mad.
That is mad.
Because when you've, like, as I said, like, you generally never have no fault. Like, you're always thinking of something. It's weird. Like,
even if you like try to meditate, I can't. I've tried. I've tried. I even bought the calm thing. And they say, think of a happy place. And I was just like,
mate.
And then I'm thinking, how am I going to get to that happy place?
No, mate. Do you know what? It's so weird. I was literally saying it. I don't know who I was saying it to. But like I've got that calm app. I pay for the yearly subscription, and it's like think of like a happy place, or think of you're in a field of flowers, and then I'm visualizing the flowers, and then I'm so in the moment, like I'm like overthinking the flowers, where I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, mate, just chill. You're meant
calm
to
down.
You're meant to relax in this, not overthink everything.
Mate, same.
I'm thinking, what country I'm in? What's the temperature
where is
like?
this? Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Is it muddy? Is it insects?
Yeah,
Mate.
It's like, mate, just chill the fuck
I
out.
don't know how people meditate.
Even rain. I tried doing raindrops. You know, like you can play raindrops on your thing.
Yeah.
Then I'm just listening so closely to the raindrops, I'm wide awake.
You know what's helping me? I'll show you the machine. I've got this machine, it's like a white noise machine, which does like different noises, like rain noises. But I set it as a noise where it sounds like a fan. Or the
Really?
TV. You know when the TV goes all fuzzy, whatever that thing is called. Static, I think. But
Why
I could
static?
sleep.
That's a bit creepy.
Not static, no. I think fan. That's why I keep that on. So it's like a machine, like some sort of machine going shh. I keep that on and I fall asleep.
Really?
Yeah.
So has that really helped you?
Helped me massively.
Where did you get it from?
Oh, just eBay, like
Really?
tenner, yeah.
Even tell me that after.
But no, honestly, thank you so much for coming on,
Yeah,
man. It's
bro.
actually been
Nice
sick.
one.
It's been so good. Excited to edit this up. Excited to edit more of your videos. Check his videos out as well. Check his Instagram, lockstocktom. And we didn't even speak about trading much, but we kind of did it in the end. Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm looking
Nice
forward
one.
to your future and you growing and watching you grow, man.
Same, bro. Same. Onwards and upwards.
Onwards upwards. You want to plug yourself? You're sweet.
No, just follow me on Instagram, lockstocktom, YouTube, lockstocktom, and the website Lockstock Trading. But yeah, no, I'm real, mate.
No,
Really
appreciate
good.
that.
I
Thank
don't
you so
remember
much.
anything we spoke about.
No, but you went deep. You went deep.